Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 301st episode of the Popcast. That's right, I am the Pop Gun, here joined today by the one, the only Fufu, special guest today. How's it going, Fufu?
I'm excited to be here on the 301st special edition of the Popcast, Lily.
Right?
And while we're on the Popcast, we're taking things a little bit differently because we're going to be watching some matches on the cast.
Yeah, it's very unusual for this format. Normally, it's just me, Pop Gun, talking about things that people might care about. Maybe, I guess. But today, we're going to be talking about stuff people definitely care about, which is the actual game.
Yeah, the actual game. Or maybe they don't. Who knows? We never know. It could be something some people care about, or maybe they don't. I mean, do people care about Hagglefish Market?
I mean, what else is there to care about on a Wednesday evening? Except Splatoon.
And shopping.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah. Well, and I mean, like, Pokemon's not out yet, so there's nothing to distract anybody. So we just get to vibe.
Is that tomorrow?
Yes.
Tomorrow? Oh, dude, I'm not kept up. Oh, yeah, we have, like, teams that we should probably...
Oh, no, that's not wrong.
Yeah.
We're talking about Pokemon.
Actually, pause. There's Yuri. We're going to talk about Yuri because this duelie's name is Yuri.
Excellent. I'm so excited. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, we're getting right into things. Hagglefish Market on zones. Two teams here. I mean, Quasar we've heard of before. Let that sink in. I'm going to go ahead and assume is a sub, but a pickup. But I kind of want them to be a real team. It's an amazing name.
I swear I've heard them before. Like, I'm pretty sure they've played SOS at some point before because I've seen them. I've heard that name before, and it's sinking in, if I'm being honest. But already seeing that first cap of the zone, going in to let that sink in. I like this edit on the zone, just trying to, keep the space, keep things held as an edit does. And they're able to do so pretty successfully. We do have most of the members of Quasar still here, but not for long, with half of them going down already.
Honestly, yeah, and I'm kind of loving seeing some of these weapon picks. I mean, we have those brand new dualies on both sides, which is definitely unusual. And the E-Leader coming out, leading to an unconventional cooler pick on the Tri-Slosher.
Indeed. And it seems like there's not a heavy reliance on that cooler either. It's more so like if we have it, we have it. And it seems that efforts have finally paid off for Quasar as they're able to get that zone captured and a cooler out on top of that for this offense, which I think is huge. That poor Stamper that died before they were able to get it, though. That's unfortunate.
I mean, maybe next time they'll be able to set up here on Lockout, but for right now, we're going to have to give it over. Let that sink in, trying to come back in with these specials. Already one down. Going to make this a little more difficult. Two down with a beautiful E-Leader shot. Fufu, how do you feel about seeing so many E-Leaders come back?
I love to see it. Honestly, I know it's not the most fun thing to play against, but it is effective if the player is not only if they're mechanically good. There is the word. You got to be mechanically good, and you got to have a team that'll work well with it. So it's not a one solution fix all, but one solution for everything. Obviously, there are other factors. And speaking of other factors, we almost had a knockout in the second I was rambling.
We did almost have a knockout. Unfortunately for Let That Sink In, or for Quasar, I guess, Let That Sink In did manage to get that cap. A wave, I forgot there was a wave breaker on the E-Leader. That's how often it gets played. But that said, I mean, we're seeing a pretty good lockout here. This edit is proving to be a little difficult for the members of Quasar to move past. And this is kind of the problem we run into with E-Leader, is that they often, without mechanical strength, lack a little bit of that retake power.
No, absolutely. It is a gimmick weapon. Its whole gimmick is that it kills and it causes a lot of pressure. That is it. That is all E-Leader is going to give to you. And I guess some occasional chip and information, but that's all it gives.
And I mean, you can't discount the benefit of something like a wave breaker, especially trying to drop down into court on this map. Like, the amount of information that gives, especially when you're fighting weapons like Stamper or Dualies, is still so useful. But I mean, you still got to be mechanically very strong. And I mean, we're seeing that right now with Let That Sink In, is just making things so hard for Quasar. That's what, the third practical wipe, just trying to get back into the middle of the map.
Yeah, it's also a paint struggle as well, because Leader does require some extra paint on the field, and they're not quite able to deliver that with the weapons they have on Quasar. And Let That Sink In is quite literally letting that paint difference sink in, as they are very, very close to overtaking the lead that Quasar has put in. That's gonna... Yeah, you're dead, buddy. I'm waiting for that zip They died before it. Bro didn't even give him the satisfaction. Yeah, I'm just killing you before that. Whatever, man.
Yeah, I mean, who even needs to do anything? You jump in with your big sword, you slash around until people get distracted, and then they forget they have to paint the zone, and, you know, whatever works.
Ooh, you want to look at me so bad, and then it works. Like,
yeah.
And people are surprised. It works.
Yeah.
Like,
and I mean, as a junior, I oscillate between those two play styles. Like, either I'm like, don't look at me, you have no idea I'm here, I'm just going to paint and we'll pretend that I'm not over in this direction, versus like, ha, I'm in your walls, ha, I'm splatter dashing around, ha, come fight me. And then, you know, you choose what you have to for the moment.
Who needs a brush when you have a junior?
Exactly.
Like, yeah. Like, what's the difference? And honestly, yeah, it was kind of like anyone's game. Like, I should probably talk about the game itself, but it really was anyone's game when you think about it, because most of these teams were kind of going back and forth, and it's Hagglefish Market, of course, going to go back and forth, you know, one big lead to another big lead, and it's how the game goes. Speaking of the game, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and Haggle Zones is one of those very highly played stage and mode combinations, so I think, like, anytime I see a team get real close games on zones, I'm like, yeah, I mean, zones. As long as you have decent paint and you know how to re-enter a map, you're probably going to be okay. But I find what really allows players to shine is Clan Blitz.
Oh, yeah. It literally tests every aspect of a team, down to the teamwork, to the mechanics, quite literally everything. So it's Rainmaker. Hey, we got an interesting copy of Clan Blitz.
Yeah. So that's unfortunate. Clan Blitz looked a little funny there for a second, but we're gonna ignore that. And get to actual Clan Blitz. But I just find, like, Clan Blitz is like the ultimate form of Splatoon. It has, like, all aspects that all of the other modes, including Turf War, teach you, and it combines it into one mode and requires you to play so many different aspects of the game at once in order to succeed, that you can really find the line of teams who understand the game on every level versus teams who don't.
No, yeah, for sure. And, like, the thing about Clan Blitz as well is if you try to heavily focus on one aspect of the mode, like, let's say you're heavily focused on clams, everything else is going to topple you over. Like, you have to balance everything out, or else you're going to be taken by the waves.
Absolutely. You gotta juggle those clams. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Clan Blitz.
Yeah. Like Clan Blitz.
Yeah.
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 I mean, so I'm
Arizona stage.
Oh, I mean, I suppose so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never
go to
been.
Sunset Surge.
Soon.
Go to Arizona. Go to Sunset Surge.
Someday.
Yeah.
Someday I'll get it to Arizona.
Yeah, you should. It'd be so cool.
I'm just gonna break into your house.
Oh yeah, welcome in. The door's open. I'll leave it open just for you. Don't you worry.
I'll bet. Yeah, I got this.
Yeah,
all right,
everyone
come with me. We're gonna break into Fufu's house.
Oh wait, not the whole crowd. Pause. Guys.
I'm already in your walls. It's too late.
No, I asked for one gay person, not 50.
Now here's the question for you, Fufu. Are we keeping the E-Leader?
No, instead they're opting to bring out the ZNF charger, which I agree with. I like that pick a lot because it lets you be a little bit more aggressive, especially if you are amazing and awesome. That charger is going to do something silly and go on the grates. And I really hope they do. Leader's great and all, but I don't think it's the most effective on this map because you can do stuff like this if we don't whip the shot. Oh no!
Now here's another really interesting change too. Is we've switched from the those new dualies over to the Tetra and to a Wiper as well. So those are both very fast moving, very kill heavy specials as well as weapons that I think is really going to help benefit them. It's kind of like we were mirror matching comps before, but losing a little bit in the paint department against that edit. And now it feels like we have a little bit more of an even matchup.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way, and I think it helps to kind of leave a little bit of that chip behind, especially because you know, you're not having a pencil, you're not going to have as much interception. Ooh. Whoa, okay, pause. That was nasty. How did you get away with that? Well, you're dead now. It came back to bite you, but like, how did you get away with that?
Hello? That was kind of hot, actually.
Oh wow! Bring out the fan. It's steaming.
Right. But I'm kind of loving this this battle in mid, and the fact that no one's gotten a solid hold in around this pillow area is a kind of a testament to how much closer of a matchup this is. I find like mirror matches are always leaning one direction or another, and sometimes you just need to like shift one or two weapons just slightly over to be able to accommodate for yeah. That was almost really bad. It was bad, but it was almost really bad.
Okay. It turned out to be bad anyways. I mean, with the combination of a hammer and a reef slider, and then Piner apparently with a wiper, some points are going to get into the basket. It's going to be the first push of the game. And I like these positionings already. I kind of want that charger on snipe. Don't back off. Come on. Be cool. Yeah. Shoot people. Yeah. Come on. Shoot people. Let's go. Stay tuned.
I want that charger. Honestly, I want that charger up on snipe. It's going to be a safer position for them. But I think it could be that they're a little worried about the bait and switch. It could be that they're a little worried about that rapid, because positioning on snipe against a rapid can be a little difficult. But that said, it would give them a more solid position and hold. The biggest problem I saw with their push that I'm going to start to see here as well is that we don't really have anyone going back for clams.
No, not really. It seems like that aspect of the puzzle is missing, and I think just the lack of communication there caused a failed lead retake, and it's just the unfortunate consequence of Clam Blitz. If you don't have every base covered, you're gonna get knocked out pretty much.
And I mean, not only did we not have anyone go back for clams, as when we did with that rapid blaster, they jumped back in with the clams, which is just a prime way to get yourself splatted on the basket. So I want to see like a couple players hold those powerful positions while one starts running clams. Maybe someone with a lot of swim speed. I don't know. Just we need a little bit more movement in that clam economy.
No, yeah, for sure. And it looks like Let That Sink In is going to be giving... Oh, wait, no, we're on the other side of the spawn. They are pushed back, actually. I misread the situation for a second. But they may just have that opportunity to show Quasar what it's like to get more clams into the basket here. Wait, they were the ones. Lily, my head hurts.
Yeah, it's hard. There's too many colors and it's Wednesday. I don't know what to tell you. But I mean, Let That Sink In is getting set up for a pretty good push here. We have another football coming in. Beautiful. The bubble up is going to allow this to be a little bit more stable. And a couple clams coming in. That third football coming in on the tail end of that. It didn't... Okay.
Did one of them not score, or am I...
Yeah, it didn't score.
Yeah.
We got the noise.
That would have been a knockout. Yeah, what is that? What was that?
Clam shenanigans.
Clam shenanigans. It's the game breaking. Saying the game doesn't want to be here on a Wednesday afternoon, really. What is this? All right. Anyways, it looks like Quasar is going to be trying to retake the lead for themselves. Seeing that Reef Slider be the calling card to try and bring the teammates in, but just things are mismatched. They're staggered. We're not on the same page, and it's having severe consequences for Quasar, Lily.
It really is. And I mean, we're having some difficulties. That beautiful hammer, but unfortunately going to get shredded by the E-leader. Stay True is doing fantastic work on this charger, but it's just not quite enough, and we're running really low on time. I feel just like we're just getting shredded instantly by everybody we're running into, and 2 footballs, it just isn't quite enough to get it.
No, yeah, for sure. It's a staggering. It's everyone going one after the other, and it's the consequence of that. The power of Yuri is not enough to save us as the basket's going to close. No, Yuri is going to save us, Lily.
Yuri always saves us. Maybe just not in the ways we expect.
You know what? You could be so real.
Powerful words. Powerful words.
Yes.
I mean, that said, we saw some pretty decent, even gameplay from both teams. It just felt like Let That Sink In had some more solid pushes with a lot more readiness on those footballs to come in. That was a powerful push with 3 full footballs.
No, yeah, and really, the game should have been knocked out if the game didn't have a moment and decided not to count the ball that was there, which is kind of funny, but also, you know, had the situation been different, I would have been upset. If I were them. So they're very lucky to be in the advantageous position when that happened. But it looks like we have a bracket peak, methinks.
Ooh. I mean, a few games here settling out. Usagi Fanclub 2 over Amethyst Blizzard. We get to see, obviously, Let That Sink In Quasar. So I'm interested am interested. I kind of want to see Let That Sink In go to bracket. I kind of want to see them continue. And I'm just kind of sad about Quasar because I mean I'm just a Charger fan. Like Chargers are just so interesting to watch. Like the amount of pressure you can apply just by waving your laser is wild. It's wild.
It is. It's like you need the elements like of the mechanical skill, and you know you can have it, you can do everything you can, but if everything else is not in order, like if your team is going in one by one, there's nothing you can do. You cannot save that as a Charger, and you know there's no fail safes if something goes wrong with the one-shot Chargers, and it makes me kind of sad because it's such a cool weapon. As much as people hate fighting against it, those guys refine their skill like crazy. The call is coming from inside the house.
Yeah, and I mean, I love to see it, but hopefully we'll see more tonight. Chargers are on the rise again, which I love to see. So, getting into it, I guess we're gonna have our next match here shortly, and Bite Reality versus 11'8" P-Jack.
What's a P-Jack?
This sounds familiar. Why do I know P-Jack?
Hold on, I'm gonna
Pepperjack
searching up.
Because wasn't Tess on a Pepperjack team or something like that? Or was P-Jack from Riptide? Is that what I'm remembering? The P-Jack challenge, something like that. I don't know. I'm losing my mind. Doesn't matter.
I'm with you.
What does matter is I would also like to Bite Reality.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that so? What? Elaborate?
Sometimes world, hard, cold must be bit.
You know, words of wisdom right there. If you guys don't ever listen to Lily podcast, you're wrong. You gotta get a Lily podcast because you keep speaking words of truth. Yeah. I think. Yeah. But if it wasn't obvious, we have our teams Bite Reality and 11'8" P-Jack. So I think it's a 11'8" P-Jack is like a mix of teams. So that's why we're having like it's like a ship baby, you know. That.
Yeah. Tell me more.
No, I think I've said enough.
I mean, to be fair, there's one thing babies are known for is shit. So Popgun, I'm very familiar with this.
Ship. I said ship, not the other.
Sure.
No, Lily. Lily, this is a family-friendly stream. I'm bringing fandom words into here, so
this is not a family-friendly stream. No. It's not family-friendly. I can swear all I want. Listen, wait, are you ready? Heck.
Lily,
take it.
We could swear together.
Take that.
Yeah, like hold on. I'm gonna. Yeah.
You can't stop me. Heck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that, mods. Take that.
Dude,
so forget.
Why are we like?
It's been a long day. Listen, you knew what you're getting into when you invited me. Next stage is going to be particle and time zones. Now, here's the question. Think we bring back an E-leader? Because, like, I want an E-leader, like, really bad.
Listen, if we wanted a leader, I would throw myself into the field. Let's be real. I think it's possible to bring a leader onto Barnacle and Dime. It is a map suitable for it. A lot of open areas, lots of great positioning for a leader to get into, and frankly, not as much cover as one would hope. So it makes it it's a breeding ground for E-leaders, for Chargers, really. You maybe a camo.
Ooh.
A camo would be cool. I want to see more camo Chargers because camo is like unironically a really good kit, and if you have really good mechanics with that kit, who needs an E-leader? Just take the camo out and just play like a Slayer with a Charger. It's so fun.
All right, I'm listening. Tell me more.
Wait. But I had a moment and my brain short right. Repeat that for me.
Just tell me more.
About camo?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, for those that don't know, Camo has the kit of Sprinkler and Crab. So not only can it reliably get Crab faster, from my experience playing Camo, like sometimes you even hold your special. That's how quick it's getting it. Like
All right.
And Crab is just really great. It gives you another retake option and gives you that backup that maybe the other charger kits weren't giving you. The Sprinkler being able to get it reliably on retake, Crab profit. Or on offense, Crab profit. Like, genuinely, Crab is such a good special that having it is phenomenal on that charger.
I feel like we haven't seen a whole lot of that camo come out, and I wonder if it's just like charger players are unfamiliar with playing Crab, so they're a little intimidated by it. But I love the concept of it so much. Like, Crab is such a powerful special, and I feel like it synergizes really well with the play style of a charger.
Yeah, absolutely. It allows you to take those. It kind of shares position with the charger while also letting you be a little bit more aggressive if you feel like it. I feel like a lot of people are deterred from the kit because it has no offensive bomb. Like, people are underestimating the Sprinkler, but the Sprinkler also locks out areas when you think about it. And also just like, well, I have a long range weapon. Why would I need a Crab? When the Crab, you know, from an objective standpoint, just outputs so much more pressure than the single laser.
Well, I mean, not to mention, like,
stuck.
Crab can, with that explo shot of it, like, it can fire up over walls. It's just something that an E-liter can't do on its own. So I feel like it allows more versatility to hit different angles that you can't by yourself with an E-liter. And not to mention just throwing down Sprinkler, like, classic. You throw down Sprinkler as like a little damage buff, right? Like you have a little shield in front of you. So I feel like it's just such a powerful option that we just don't see often enough, and hopefully we'll see one tonight.
Yeah, I'm really hoping to see one tonight, but honestly, we got a Welshing before we see a camo, and frankly, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised and not surprised. We see
it's Tessa.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing I'm going to expect from Tessa, it's going to be a bow of some kind. So, I mean, I'm super surprised. I am a little surprised to see a paintbrush. I feel like we're seeing a few more of those pop up nowadays, which is kind of fun and horrifying for me as a junior player.
No, yeah, especially with the recent buffs, like, it is nasty sometimes. Wait, that's Scoobs! I know that guy! Pause! Wait, I know that guy! Okay.
Well, Scoob's unfortunately getting picked off before they can go in and get that Scooby snack. And Tessa providing some very powerful frontline bow action is unfortunately going to get pushed out. That was chaos for a moment there. And it's Bite Reality's turn to try to get a lockout. Now, we did have oh, no one saw the jump. Do they know? Do they know? No, they have their headphones on. They don't know.
they're not the knowers, I would say. And Scoops is actually the only one here. Well, actually just got joined by a buddy, only to lose the buddy in the process, dying in their arms. And, you know, 11'8" P-Jack is kind of in the depths right now. They're super scattered and are just continuing to get picked off. There's really no way out for these guys. As the lead swaps over, it gets taken back the zone, question mark? It doesn't matter. That's a wipeout for Bite Reality. There's no coming back from this just yet.
All right. So now they have a chance to get that lockout we were talking about just momentarily, but, you know, this time for real, because now they're for sure no one behind them because we had an actual full wipe, except never mind, there is someone behind them because Almojo is over here running like the rat all brushes know they are.
Yeah, I feel like Almojo's kind of like bro's a little off the walls, just a little bit ahead of the pack, and I think it's having a little bit of consequences. Oh. And that is, speaking of consequences, that is what happens when you go within a melee range of a stamper. Scoobs, not you too, dog.
Sometimes you're like watching it. It's like watching a train wreck. It's like these two vehicles are driving towards each other, and I know exactly how it's going to go. And oh my god, that impact was fantastic. Boo Boo over here doing a fantastic job.
The look of the boo-boos, the dog. Whatever, man. Yeah, take your wipeout. Sure. Imagine having a cheater weapon in your hand and actually cheating with a good night. Never mind. The cheater weapon down. And with the cheater weapon down on Mojo coming in on this right-hand side, Zaire rushing in with that wiper as well. This might be the chance for 11'8" P-Jack to take this back, but they're having some troubles getting that paint down. I mean, when you're up against a bow and some dualies, I mean, I feel like I put money on the dualies to win that paint battle. No, absolutely, yeah. And, you know, just looking at this from, I think this is a wipeout. I think this is a knockout, Lily.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at this. It's been constant deaths from 11'8" P-Jack. And Bite Reality is giving them a reality check. That is it. That is it. Look at their spawn, bro. There's nothing there almost. There's like kind of something there, but there's not. Yeah, Bite Reality just had them staggered.
And it feels like P-Jack didn't really take any time to like build specials. They were just trying to move, you know? They're like, we need to get in and we need to get in now. So let's not build specials. Let's not put down some paint. Let's just go. And it felt like it backfired a little bit on them. Like, I feel like Almojo's flanks followed by scoops, like those had some potential to work, but you needed that forward pressure at the time when the back pressure is coming in. And it feels like they just weren't able to coordinate those quite properly to get it moving the way they wanted to.
I felt like a follow the leader rather than join the pack. It was like one after the other, and I feel like I don't want to be mean, but it starts with the brush, because the brush goes forward and then here comes Scoops trying to, you know, work off that, but at that point it's a little too late and suddenly you're by yourself and now you have two people down. It's a domino effect, and hopefully they realize that and they're able to work a little more together and make sure that everyone's a little more you know, in a pack rather than in a line.
Yeah, and fingers crossed. I feel like it's a pretty minor adjustment. A lot of it just comes down to timing. So it's definitely doable, and it might just be that like it is a marriage of two different teams who might not be accustomed to each other's speed and tempo. So I feel like it's very doable. It just, you know, we're gonna have to make that adjustment, and we're gonna have to do it live.
Not only live.
Going to Rainmaker.
Going to Rainmaker. I feel like this might just make it worse, Lily. If I'm being completely honest, Humpback Pump Track is notorious for, you know, spinning players around, pulling them in circles, and calling it a day just because it is a 180 from whatever Barnacle and Dime is, whatever Tetris piece that is. We have a whole circle. That is Humpback Pump Track circle. That's a wide map, and it's gonna take a lot of adjusting unless they're used to Humpback Pump Track, unless that chaos, you know, helps them out. But
yeah, I mean, I feel like Rainmaker and Humpback Pump Track, the chaos can help, and the constant running in can help as well. But the coordination, especially around that, I mean, the U of death, the horseshoe of death, as Zach called it, is really important. So I feel like it's going to come down to how quickly these players can adjust and move with each other, because it always comes down to that. Can you move with each other?
Yeah, for sure. And it's also a matter of not getting stuck in the center. And I feel like that's what a lot of players or a lot of teams really get stuck on. But opening up here, 11'8" P-Jack is actually going to be the first one to get that pop. And they're actually in man advantage. Tesseract trying to take a fight here with the Wiper. I think they're going to be able to get out of that alive. But the turf is purple at the moment. And that first checkpoint is actually going to be grabbed within the first 30 seconds for 8'8" P-Jack.
That is a fast checkpoint. Now, this is the challenge here. Can we grab and go? Because we did grab, but the Zuka's out, so we're not going. 3 down, essentially a wipe. Zare's gonna touch is a little strange to me. I guess you're making them re-pop while your teammates come in, but it's still, and it's felt like a strange choice to just throw away our life like that.
No, yeah, for sure. Especially when you could have been a jump point on top of that. But it looks like Bite Reality is going to be returning the favor, getting a checkpoint on their own as well. They are so much more set up to get so many more points on the board. If someone just pops the Rainmaker, if we pop the Rainmaker, if we...
There's
there
3
we
down.
go.
They're 3 down. Let's go.
Perfect.
And here we are. And so Tessa's up on that top right side, just went down. It's just the brush coming in. They're down. Now, I mean, we're going to kill the Rainmaker, but we pushed to 3. So, now, Fight Reality, I'm not worried if I'm them.
No, you're not worried. It's so weird because it happens so fast in Rainmaker.
Yeah.
You blink and suddenly the points are at 3. And if you're 8'8", 11'8" P-Jack, that is a huge mental blow, and it's going to be up to them to reset and try to get it closer. And it looks like it's not doing as much damage as I initially thought it is, and they're taking things slow, but they are suffering 2 down and a potential. Yeah, I think yep, that's it. That's a wipeout, forcing all of P-Jack back to spawn.
And I mean, looking at it, like, what do we really have for defense from 11-foot P-Jack? Like, I wouldn't count missiles as defense, because that can push people forward as well as it can push people backward.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we don't even got a... Oh, never mind. I thought I was going to knock out, if I'm being honest. I thought that was it.
The respawn was just a little too close, but it just feels like 11-foot P-Jack, 11'8" P-Jack just doesn't have quite the same defensive resources that we have coming out of Bite Reality. And so a little bit of uncoordination on the front line combined with the lack of defensive properties, I feel like this is about par for the course looking at the comps alone.
I think you're right there. And like, while you can put some pressure out with main weapons, it's just a matter of like, no, I think you're right. It's like,
yeah,
it's so like weird.
There's like the pressure with your main weapons really comes down to how they play, and most of these want to sit like in and slightly off to the side, so they're overlapping a lot on positions to stand.
You're so right. You know, it didn't cross my mind really, but no, yeah, there's limited crossfire. There's genuine limited crossfire. And on top of that, I think they're getting out mechanicked as well on top of that. And so it's just a double whammy. And, you know, just after so much pressure, after the never ending storm, finally Bite Reality knocks the game out.
Yeah, just like all of these weapons want to stand in the same place, which is forcing people out of their optimal positions and into places that they might not be as comfortable playing in, which is making things a little awkward for them. So, like, they're all very good players and they all have really great potential. It's just, I feel like this comp is just not quite working out for them.
I unfortunately have to agree. That was some very keen eyes from you, Lily, I would have to say.
I'm a professional.
I like how you... Yes, you are. Very, very good stuff, I would have to say. And we're going to be looking back at the bracket. It looks like this is Group F that we saw. Let's see how many teams are. F.
Can you get some Fs in chat?
Fs? If everyone doesn't spam F right now, I'm going to be disappointed. I mean, we should go do it ourselves.
Oh, hang on, I want
it. Yeah.
We'll start the train.
Awesome. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Followers.
So we do see Nauseous had beat 11'8" P-Jack in round 1. It looks like Bite Reality over them on round 2. Nauseous is currently 1-1 against Wavelength, which is going to be interesting. I'm kind of below. I'm kind of interested to see what Wavelength is running, honestly.
No, yeah, for sure. Because it's not often. Well, how often are we seeing 1-1s in groups, really?
Right? It's not very frequent. Like, I feel like, I mean, the purpose of groups is to sort of run out into brackets. And more often than not, that equals out to a lot of 2-0s just because of you know, seeding and balancing. So I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it's a curiosity that gets into, like, what are these guys eating that someone is going to break their seed,
right? And we're missing it, but
it's exciting.
I mean, Wavelength, also worth noting, went down 0-2 to Bite Reality, so it's looking very likely that Bite Reality will be the one going on into Top Cut, so maybe we'll see a little bit more of them later on tonight, which, I mean, yeah, let's go. I'm listening. I liked how they played that last set.
No, yeah, for sure. They were a lot more organized. Like, I feel like the last two teams that we saw win for those groups were very organized. It felt like I don't know if it was just a skill difference from the teams that were fighting, for lack of better wording, or they're just that goated.
I mean, it could go either way, really.
Yeah, when you think about it.
But I mean, that said, we do have our next match just about ready. And we'll find out who we're going to be seeing. Miracle versus Lock-In. So there's some familiar names in here. We're seeing Lewis on Lock-In and SEO and Not X-Men on Miracle. Vividi as well. I recognize that name. There's a few here I know.
We might see some Slosher action, Lily, from Vidi.
Yes. I'm also interested to see what Ezio is playing right now, because I know that they are a Pencil fan, but I thought I had seen on Twitter or Blue Sky, one of them, that he was trying out playing some Chargers. So I'm interested to see what exactly comes out tonight.
Let's see, it would be a real treat to see a Charger, especially after the Charger conversations that we had earlier. And right. I will be jumping with joy. I'll be like the gif of the cat that's like all over the screen. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. The people are not gonna know what I'm talking about, but you will. This. This is me if I see a charger. Does it?
Hang on. I will describe this for chat. All right, chat, I'm clicking on the channel now. So what we're seeing here is a little white cat in the visual style of annoying dog, and it's teleporting across the screen like an electron that has been overcharged. And this is just Fufu every day at all times, but especially when they see a charger.
Thank you. Exactly.
And-
There's a charger!
Yes! I thought I had seen that reported. And a junior, hello, I'm listening. But I'm definitely interested. Yes, I'm definitely interested to see how this, how Ezio's E-Leader is looking, because we're definitely seeing the Respawn Punisher as well.
Yeah, Respawn Punisher is a finicky one, and we're seeing the GIF on screen. That's me, by the way, right now. And, they're doing their job as picks are already happening on the field. And look at that. Look how fast these picks are coming out. I love the bait. Look at I'm going to talk about what just happened, because Flotte just moved people away from cover and let the leader shoot them. This is what good charger setup looks like. Take notes. Oh, my God.
So I'm going to call this player Floette because the Pokemon. So we're going to be going into 2 different languages tonight. We're going to be seeing this both as Spanish and French, but things are a little bit of a bloodbath here in the mid, which is not uncommon on this map this early. We did see that level change already, and it feels like Ezio is just putting on amazing pressure on that left-hand side, forcing everyone in, or right hand, I guess, from our perspective, forcing everyone into this left-hand side and causing problems. So you throw an S-Blast in here, and how's anyone supposed to get in?
No, yeah, for sure. And Lock-In finally got some locking in and was able to get control of zone, but they lost space just as fast, I think. I would argue it's a little bit rough because there's you have all of Miracle still alive, but the zone is still purple. I don't know. This is kind of a weird situation, if you ask me, because it's kind of like we're fighting for control, but also the control seems obvious. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. We did get everyone down. We have essentially a wipe except for Ezio. Ezio is still causing a little bit of damage on that right-hand side, picking off some players just slightly off map. I absolutely love seeing the mental as well as physical pressure of an A-leader. It's beautiful to watch, and it's something that a lot of weapons struggle to replicate.
No, I know, right? And especially, it goes back down to those mechanics as well, because Ezio is hitting their shots. We saw it happen, and it's the question of whether it's going to happen right here or not. I saw that has an even greater effect on the weapon's pressure. But again, pressure doesn't always mean everything, because Lock-In has obtained the wipeout. It's back to that lockout problem. You lose, you lose a potential tool.
Yeah, and that's truly what we're running into here, is that, I mean, so I feel like there's a balance to be had. E-leaders and chargers in general were out of the game for such a long period of time that anyone who didn't play Splatoon 2, and even some people who did, have forgotten really how to play against chargers. So chargers are getting a bit of buff in that sense, but at the same time, we've also just not played chargers in so long that we're forgetting how to do certain things, like get into out of lockouts and break in with different tools, right? Like, it takes it a little bit of an adjustment. So
yeah, and I have beef with Pencil slightly for this as well, because we did technically see the return of Charger.
Yes.
But Pencil has such a, it paints. It has those backups that people didn't really bother learning how to, properly play with the Charger. And we're definitely seeing a lot of that. I've talked about this before. I have so much beef. We lost the art of one-shot Chargers because of it as well.
Yeah.
So you lose a clutch, and suddenly you're like, oh crap, I have to do things myself?
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Now that said, we're getting them back now. So people are relearning that aspect of it. And it's going to be interesting to see if people develop new ways of doing things, because we took that break in the middle. We're not necessarily beholden to the way we used to do things, because a lot of the players now playing these don't have those pre-built conceptions, right? So I'm really interested to see how we adapt going forward.
Yeah, and it's so interesting seeing just the change, the waves. And I always think like the Return of Chargers has partially to do with Samurai Cat in the SWS, because we all saw that leader. We all saw that leader, and it just went from there. But that being said, we're going to be moving into Undertow Spillway. What game mode are you? I forgot. What game mode are you? Tower control.
Now this is going to be interesting as well, because we are still playing that E-leader. I thought like we might switch off to Firefin for this, just because of the strikes being as powerful as they are, but it could just be like, I mean, we have massive drops on this map. A beautiful shot. Okay, Ezio, I need you to stop showing off for a second. I'm trying to talk about specials. I feel like the drops on this map, you still have a lot of benefit from Wavebreaker and around the geometry here, but on top of that, like, just E-leader is a powerful weapon.
Absolutely. I mean, you hear it all the way across the map. You can hear it. It's kind of awesome, but yeah, I could see kind of why the leader was chosen. It's a lot of range, and on ZF sometimes you feel limited, or you have to get a little too close to those drops, and it can be pretty dangerous against like sloshers or really anything with range. So I understand the pick as well, but it looks like the points are going to be stopping at 58 for Miracle. Looking back here to those points, Lock-in, I think, is going to be trying for this push. Whether or not it's going to be sustained is the bigger question. They just lost their pen.
Yeah, and I mean, the cooler did go out, so at least the players can pick up on that, but it doesn't look like we're going to be getting too far here. I'm going to assume that name is pronounced Nathan. I'm going to call him Nathan. And the junior over here just doing a really good job of dipping and diving. This is the kind of movement I love to see from junior, just a little more involved than someone who just sits back and throws bombs. And like the dip and dodge and slide around distractions, I absolutely love to see it. Now that said, Lock-in has pushed this tower to that second checkpoint and is doing a pretty good job here of, I mean, maintaining it. Now, the problem is we went several down and aren't able to hold on to mid. So Miracle's going to get a bit of a head start reattempting that second check.
Yeah, and it's going to get even worse because they have this Booyah Bomb active and Cooler active, so they're going to be able to have the resources to sustain this push and potentially take the lead back from Lock-in. You know, it's going to suck because Lock-in just obtained this lead. I do like these angles taken. This is a really interesting fight on the left with a Knot and Stamper not coming out alive, able to prevent the lead swap. Really, really good defense there from Lock-in, and, you know, taking out the beacons. Good.
Yeah, very important step in the process. Ezio, goodness. Gotta love to see a fellow Canadian rocking it right now. I mean, absolutely adoring it.
I thought I saw lag. I thought I saw bullets not do bullet things. Yeah, there's things happening. Hopefully it smooths itself over. But Miracle just really, really going forward to the tower, dying and trying again. It feels a little bit desperate at this point to try and retake the lead. But we can take our time, fellas. We have 2 minutes left. We don't got to be too silly yet.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to be too silly. You kind of want to... This is the part of the game where you want to push that tower and try to get things moving a little bit, but backing off if needed. You want your pushes to be a little more fluid at this stage of the game. Because we don't have to do or die here, we can afford to take our time and build some specials, get some turf control. And you just need to be ready to back up and preserve life if needed.
No, yeah, for sure. And like, we're not married to the tower. We don't, you know, it's okay, guys. It's okay. I promise. Unless you're Ezio, yeah.
The tower is bay, right? So I'm just saying, tower is bay. So like, maybe it's time we marry the tower.
Oh, you got some lovey-dovey eyes to the tower, Lily.
Right. I mean, it's
and apparently so does Miracle. True. And so does Miracle.
Yeah, Miracle definitely. Yeah, I mean, we got what we like to call a technical lead, where like. Oh, it's a 1-point lead. I would not consider this safe. Not the points that we're at right now. If it was like a 1 point, okay. If it was a 1-point lead at like 2, yeah. 1-point lead at 49, But I mean, things are looking a little rough here for Miracle.
I mean, it could be a pretty decent lead considering how the game was looking for the last 4 minutes and the fact that it is still at 50, but it's going to get smashed one way or another because Lock-in was able to get a really nice advantage. Just a lot of blue. So good good night, apparently. Never mind. Nope, never mind. The lead is actually back in Lockin's favor. Yeah, it was incredibly fragile. You were right. It looks like Lockin was just kind of playing things safe when they had the lead instead of trying to take risks. And now that lead was, taken from them, they're seeing a lot of points.
Yeah, it truly was. And now we're reaching that point, 20 seconds left on that clock. This is the point that's do or die. We don't have time to let them get points or mid. We have to get in and get those picks now, and we have to get that tower now, because we're going to have to make most of this push in overtime if we make it at all.
Yeah, and there's not really any rooms for mistakes. Not only do they get on tower,
Yeah. We just got off tower. We just left it.
This is not how overtime works, guys.
That is unfortunate. I mean, it is what it is. We saw some really good play from all of the players. Ezio's Charger was looking hot this game, so Ezio, please keep playing that Charger. I want to see more of it. But yeah, that's just unfortunate.
It's incredibly unfortunate. I'm actually a little bit sad that we didn't get to see Robo Ramen Zone, because I would have loved to see that leader shine on that map. Although we know Pencil's capabilities, and I don't know, it's so sad because I like that we talked about it earlier. We love the Chargers, but it's just not working out this SOS.
It really just isn't, and I get it. I do get it. It's not easy by any means. Like I said, we're still relearning how to fully play Chargers, not only in this meta, but in general, because one-shot Chargers have just been out for so long. So, I mean, I feel like if Ezio's Charger is looking this good now, just imagine like a month's time. Like, what's that going to be? So...
There's so many sleeper agents because we just haven't been allowed to play one shots for a while. Like, you would have to be committed to the bit, and now that a lot of our one shot Chargers do have pockets, if things do hit the fan, you have backups.
Yeah,
you have backups for the back.
Yeah. Because I mean, while one shot Chargers were out, everyone picked up Pencil. A lot of people picked up Rapid. There's other options, and I'm just. Hopefully we can learn stuff from the time that we spent not playing one-shot Chargers and bring it to the one-shot Chargers and, just improve from here.
For sure. Then, just if you're confused about how to play Charger, just pick up a Charger. You're going to learn real quick.
If you're confused about how to play Charger, watch Fufu play Charger. Actually, no. Here's my suggestion. Go watch some VODs with one-shot in it. One-shot... incredible Charger player, like one of those E-leaders that never dropped E-leader and is terrifying. So check out One Shot, because wow.
Or Samurai too is a really fun one to watch. Watch some of their VODs after the SWS, and I was like, dang, I love leader. It's so I could talk so much about the state of Chargers and the poor how the game fundamentally hates them in a solo queue environment, but I'm not gonna go into that.
Why not? Let's go. We have time.
We have time.
Yeah.
Am I gonna get shot on Twitter for doing this?
Listen, this is the podcast. What else are we gonna do here except go on rants about stuff?
That's true. Like, if I said that the game fundamentally works against Chargers in solo queue, and especially in X rank, that it is physically harder to get to higher levels with an anchor weapon compared to your frontline buddies, would I be shot on sight?
I mean, no, because it sounds like everything you're saying is objectively correct. I mean, because for anyone who doesn't know in chat, matchmaking in X rank and in solo in Splatoon is based on a point system that's assigned to your weapon based on how it plays, and the points allocated to longer range weapons is a little funky. So you often end up, anytime there's a heavy is not considered the same point category as Charger. So you can often end up with double backline or triple backline on your team, and the game thinks it's equivalent to a double midline, double front line on the other side. And it's very strange how that ends up working out and is detrimental to getting good solo practice.
It's like at that point you're better off making the effort to try and get like a scrim of sorts.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to say that solo queue isn't good, because it is good up to a certain point.
Oh,
At
yes.
a certain point, frankly, you hit that threshold pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Even, you know, I hit that a while back. I'm just kind of like, dude, solo queue is kind of sucks.
Yeah.
For your buddies, because you're also at the mercy of whoever's your front lines are.
Yeah.
It's such a huge like mercy. You pray those guys are good. And you know, it has its benefits for mechanical practice, but once you have your mechanics down, you got to go find something else and just pray you have the connections for it.
Right, and I mean that's it too. Like, that's a problem that's plagued support players for ages in Splatoon. Is because essentially once you get to certain levels of competitive and certain levels of solo, if you can't carry, then you have to rely entirely on having good teammates. And support weapons just have a harder time doing that carry role than an aggressive or frontline or midline weapon. So like at some point you have to kind of just like let go of what the wins and losses mean in solo queue and just legitimately just work on those high pressure moments where you might be coming from below, you know? So that's kind of what that practice turns into. And then if you want to practice like actual good team play, you're going to have to go find a scrim, because there's just no way to get that and no way to get the communication needed in a solo queue game that you would have to use to like adapt for the playstyle of a charger, because just not everyone in solo is going to be able to adapt to play with the charger.
Yeah, and it's like the higher up you go, it's crazy how scarce the comp pool is. I think plus players in total are less than 200. And imagine that for the comp community, except in solo queue. Like the higher up you go, the players that would be around your skill level shrink tremendously. So it's really hard to get that quality. It depends the server you're in as well. I'm talking at least for like the NA scene. I haven't been able to play for a while, but from last I've heard, things haven't changed since the injury. So there's a lot of beef with that. Also, it builds bad habits sometimes.
It can, yes.
Solo queue.
Yeah,
like, if you're not careful and you're not aware.
Like, shout out to Shiny Pikmin, love you, buddy. But I know Shiny for a long time, after playing a lot of solo queue, developed habits based around placing coolers that is detrimental to a team environment. So I know that's something that they've had to relearn moving back into a team environment out of a solo queue environment. So you run into stuff like that where like your specials become a little bit more selfish, your positioning or your retreats become a little bit more selfish, and that kind of stuff is something you have to be careful that you don't internalize too much moving between a solo queue environment and a team environment. Yeah,
and this is why I don't like using X-ray. It's so hard to find like a consistent way to determine skill level, because X-rank just isn't consistent. It's like, you know, we're support players, we're Angler players, so we get the complete short end of the stick of this, and I hadn't seen it be talked about until recently. I think it was Wings that made a post about it on Blue Sky, and I was like, someone there was some cooking here. And you know, this is not me by any means feeling like or like it's not like a skill issue thing, because frankly I can tell when, okay, this was kind of my fault, this was kind of not, but it's kind of just from an objective point of view, it's just how it is, and it's really sad. Maybe if we get like a bigger base of players, it would help a lot. So I'm happy for the league as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I'm just excited. I just am. I'm just excited for everything right now. I feel like Splatoon is, because like things are slowing down a little bit in the life cycle of Splatoon 3, it feels like. I mean, like patches are a little bit more further and far between, and like we may or may not be getting more weapons. We don't really know. And so like throwing the NA League in and I feel like is leading to some really interesting practice and some really interesting sets that are hopefully going to motivate people a little bit more, and I'm just excited.
It probably is the best way to get a higher level practice as well. And a lot of people are getting the quality practice that they haven't been able to get before. Granted, you know, I see a lot of people beefing with the ladder format, which I don't blame them either. They're incredibly long days for the league, especially if you're aiming for the top 8. But it is probably the most competitive we have ever seen the game, I would argue.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you're not, like, if you're aiming for top 8, it's going to be a long day, but I think it's still worth it for the practice. And if you don't hit top 8, you still had a good 3 hours of ladder to find teams that might be at your skill level. And I mean, I feel like the art of like losing in a tournament and then messaging the people that are around your skill level to scrim is lost. But I feel like this is a good place to do that. Like, ladder is just slamming match after match after match, and it forces you to adapt to so many different situations at once. Like, if you're going to get on and scrim or do practice for 3 hours, you might as, or even just an hour, because you don't have to play the whole ladder. Like, I feel like you might as well just hop into ladder and see what happens.
Yeah, it's like, if you're not committed to the league, you might as well just sign up, and even if you don't play, well, then you just don't play. It's good practice. Get your practice in. Get those scrim partners. We love scrim partners in this house. I do miss being on like a dedicated team and just having scrim partners, right, and like the rivalries. It was genuinely so much fun. Granted, like, it was only for a little while. So it's also nice just to see more teams showing up. I'm really hoping that the league brings that spark back and we start seeing a new inflow of players.
I mean, that would be rad. I'm like really looking forward to it. I feel like that coverage, like the consistent weekly coverage of all of the league sets, is really helping. Like, there's legitimate storylines here to follow, and the recaps every Friday are helping to thread those storylines in a way that's like easy to digest for people who don't have time to watch a 3-hour league and a 3-hour top cut, So I feel like this is, it's neat. I want to eat it.
Yeah, and this is the most involved Nintendo has been with the NA side of things as well. So it's extremely exciting. Like, if this goes well, like, if you're able to play it, obviously, because we gotta tell Nintendo, hey, we want more of this. But I think as it stands, like, it's really great that we're having this involvement, and hopefully it leads to more involvement in the future. Like, if we get yearly leagues, you know how cool that would be?
Oh my god, please. That would be so cool. And like, that really just comes down to the success of this, right? Like, if this goes well, maybe there'll be more in the future. And like, yeah, yearly. Can you imagine if we do this yearly? Imagine if it spreads to other regions, and then it evolves into like a regional battle, into a worlds like we used to do, but in a league format instead. Like, oh man, like, hello, real esports.
Dude, imagine nationals. Like, we have regionals in the US, or like within like just wherever, really, and just
and then we got worlds.
Beef out in the and then the winners of those places go to worlds. It's like, we need the Pokemon format for Splatoon. If we can, it would be years in the making, but oh my goodness. Also, I gotta go to the bathroom, bro. I gotta be back.
Well,
it's calling me.
I'm gonna.
Is that allowed?
And no pee allowed.
Oh, I'm not.
I suppose.
Man,
I suppose.
Sorry, guys. Okay. Restroom break canceled. All
right.
Told me no.
I'm mean. So I guess we're gonna be right back while Fufu runs to the bathroom, and I'm gonna grab an energy drink to keep up with Fufu. So we'll see you soon.
Yay! All right. See you guys.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 301 of the Popcast Special Edition Swim or Sink. I am joined here by Fufu, the fast-talking, swift-moving Mexican of the West.
Lily, you could just say I'm gay. It's okay.
Oh, the gay.
Perfect, right there. Takes one to know one, Lily. And we have our next team available. Helios. Oh, man. Is that magic on the team? Oh, never mind. Cancel the set.
Yeah, I mean, let's just look over at the other side. We have Assist, Winner, POV, No Name. We have a few names there we recognize as well from, how do you pronounce that? Chimarrao?
Chimarrao. I think it's, Portuguese, no? Wait, hold on.
Couldn't tell you. I'm a French speaker.
Wait,
but
let me see. I think it's Portuguese. It's Brazilian yerba mate.
Oh, interesting.
How do you say it though?
Chimarrao is my guess. I can't roll my R's, so I'm a little bit at a disadvantage here.
Chimarrao?
I'm just gonna call him Brazil.
Brazil. How do you say it? Wow.
Someone DM Assist. Hey, Assist. Can I need your help here?
Help us out. Because, like, my brain cells. Also, by the way, we love Helios. I just jump magic because it's legally, morally okay to jump magic every time you see the guy. Everyone else is cool, though.
Correct.
Bro.
I mean, I'm pretty excited. We're officially in Top Cut. If anyone wasn't paying attention, group stage is finished. We are officially in round 1 of Top Cut, and I mean, we're still in best of 3, so we're gonna be seeing a double zones potentially. Zones Umami, Top Cut.
We're in Top Cut. Oh wow,
we're in Top Cut. Groups are over.
Yeah, look at that. Splatoon Umami. I blinked, dude. Not zones. Groups went by so fast it wasn't even funny. Like we blinked and they were just gone.
Yeah, truly, we did. It was a little wild.
Fastest groups in the West, for real.
I mean, we're just having so much fun, you know? Makes the time go faster.
They hate to see us cast longer. That's why they were so fast. They're like, you know, these two are a little too good. We gotta get them out of here. We're gonna scare the people.
Understandable. Yeah. I mean, I don't blame them. I am pretty rad. So, I mean, that said, we are going to be going into things. Assist, pulling out that E-leader like I was hoping. Sorella on the 10 umbrella, going to be very exciting. And Magic on the junior. I will be criticizing you strictly.
See, I'm confused on how like the Zap and Junior are going to be playing here, especially since we are in quote-unquote double support territory. One could say good night, Magic. Good night, Magic. All right, there's no Junior on the field anymore, but Helios is the first team with full control of the zone. Asses is going to be trying to take picks to force to step back a little bit. The entire Chimarrao is kind of forced to step back here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they really are. Helios is doing a pretty good job of getting up into a powerful position. And, I mean, the 10 umbrella, I feel like, puts a lot of pressure on this door. But I feel like, aside from the 10 umbrella, they don't have a whole lot of, like, long-range holding options.
No, that too here. And they do, in fact, have a crab, though. And that crab is going to be pulling major work. 2 down on Helios. We did lose a zap on Chimarrao, though. But it's not going to be enough to... I thought that was not going to be enough to stop the zone from swapping. There we go. Finally seeing that zone swap, stopping the count at 42 for Helios. But Helios, despite essentially losing half of their team, has not allowed themselves to be in a full lockout position. And in fact, they're fighting for control of mid all over again.
Honestly, it's kind of wild. Considering the range options that Helios has, I'm surprised that they weren't pushed out entirely into a full lockout. It may be like they're just playing aggressive enough that Chimarrao doesn't have time to like get into those powerful lockout positions that they would like to have. But man, I'm kind of loving it.
It's hard to tell. It's also they have a moving shield, so they're like having an extra piece of geometry move with them, and they're like giving an extra option as well. So I think that definitely helps them out a bit. But no, yeah, I think once Chimarrao is able to figure out the range differences, it might come in handy. But it's also the paint. Like they have an insane amount of paint output, and they have a blaster and a leader on the other side.
Yeah, that's fair, and especially when you're playing in splat zones, paint is kind of the name of the game. So I feel like in order for Helios to thrive, they just need to paint and move fast. Okay, so here's gonna be the real test: is if Helios can get out of a lockout against a crab and an E-leader.
Yeah, I feel like this is where we're really going to be seeing that range difference, especially with Asus on the leader. They are going to be slightly driven out by those whales. Sorella not quite able to find a pick on the charger nor the crab, and is in a really, really tough position, nearly getting taken out themselves, but the lead will swap in Chimarrao's favor. This could spell the end of the road for Helios. It's looking a bit rough, but they are slowly making progress. Floop's able to get a lovely pick, able to finally break out here on the right side, looking for a pick on the charger, but the zone's in there. It is. It's neutralized, and it is capped for Helios. They took a big hit off of that for points as well, though.
They really did, and I mean, they don't have too much of a penalty, so it shouldn't be too difficult. It's just they don't have the lockout options available to them that Chimarrao does. So it's going to be a little bit harder for them to count down as low, especially when you go 3 down and only Magic is left alive. That said, we're seeing some amazing mechanics come out of Helios, like the movement and the quick firepower and good tracking is pretty impressive.
No, yeah, these guys have been around for a while, so it's no surprise that we're able to see moves like that. They are once again in a pickle, though. I like the use of the wall here from Floops, but Floops just doesn't quite have as much space as they want to get themselves in. Sorella really needs a pick with the Zuka, unable to find it, overextending in the process and losing their life. It's looking really rough for Helios. I think Chimarrao finally found an answer and realized the range difference, and it's proving detrimental for Helios.
It really is. Now, that said, Helios does get an interrupt, but 3 down. That's essentially game unless we get some jumps into Floops real soon. There's just no time to paint. Yeah, there's just not a whole lot you can do there. It really feels like that once Helios got locked out, that's where the struggle began. Because if they could stay staggering in mid, as long as they kept some people in mid, then they could continuously stagger, continuously paint zone, and contest that space. But once you get pushed out and you have no one to keep moving those jumps into, you have to start from scratch. That's where that comp really struggles.
It's just a limited options. It really is, and it's unfortunate because they were doing so well in the beginning of the match, but Chimarrao was just able to read them a little bit like a book, and it was just a slow moving train wreck from there for Helios, which is really unfortunate. They are going to be having the pace set for them here on Tower Control Inkling Art Academy, but I feel like we could see what what was that? What was that?
Ghosts in the machine. But Tower Control Inkling Art Academy is going to be our next one, and it's definitely you could set the pace a little more strongly with the tower, but that said, like, most of the tower movement is on that plat area. So as long as you can get up ahead of it and control bats, like, that's essentially most of the important parts of the tower path,
Indeed. And I think it's also, before we even get to the bats, we have to make sure that teams don't get stuck in neutral. Like, cause that's what I've noticed with Inkling Art Academy. It can get very snowbally, once you know where to take it. It's a pretty straightforward map, but the problem is getting there in the first place. Teams kind of go back and forth in the neutral, kind of get stuck, because like, where are we moving? Or just that slight stagger keeps them locked in the center.
Yeah. And I think it's really going to come down to that lockout position again, right? Like, I think Helios has a little bit of an advantage here. Those kind of like fast moving shooters with lots of paint running around, it puts them in a good position to be able to get in around plat, in around all of those boxes in mid. As long as they know how to play around the E-leader and stay out of its way, I feel like then they'll be fine.
Yeah, that'll be fine. There's a lot of options here. Well, kind of. It suffers the same problem that really open mid I was talking about. There's a lot of line of sight for the charger as well, in an already limited option mid. So I'm curious to see how this is going to go, and I'm expecting possible comp changes from Helios. Potentially, Magic is on pen. The world has turned upside down when that dude is on pen. Oh wait, no, Bro plays backline.
interesting. Yeah, but I just like Junior more, so I am biased against Magic currently. We do see assist coming out on that Fire Fin, going to make things a little bit easier with the strikes, especially on a tower control match. And I mean, aside from that, like I'm kind of liking the dualies here. I mean, it just Crab is very powerful, and then we also see the splash coming out on the side of Helios, which I think gives them a little bit more range options that they were lacking before.
No, absolutely. And just a better retake or offense option as well, which is also is something that they were needing. But Jordy, John, and Floops up here doing an excellent pinch right here. That was like textbook pinch. We just got to get the kill. Well, we force it now, which is still really good. That tower is going to be moving in the favor of Helios. I like where Sorella and Floops were moving. They did get caught a little bit back here since there was a flank towards the right side, but they still are retaining a lot of the space that they made.
They really are, and I mean, the Zuka coming up from Sorella is going to be a pretty powerful tool for moving them back. We did manage to clear that flanker, which is really important. And the Crab coming out just in time to help clear those bats even further, forcing a jump out. So magic on that tower. I think this is really where it's going to shine. Like, Chimarrao has to like really get in now, and we back off tower for the Crab, but I mean, we're burning a lot of specials without really touching tower.
Yeah, and like I want to note that this feels like almost rehearsed from Helios. Like they've played this song and dance multiple times, but it looks like the dance may have an interruption. No name here in the bats, but just as I say that, Chimarrao actually lost half of their team in the process, and just a momentary setback, no biggie. And Sorella's just gonna make it worse with like 2 picks. No biggie. Okay. Sorella, you can just do that apparently.
I mean, you can, and now honestly, it feels like this might be game 2 down. You have a 10 umbrella, you kind of just hop on tower and go. Right?
Yeah.
Like we're a couple points away. Yeah, that's just it. So, I mean, that was a beautiful showing from Helios. I mean, we saw like a pretty powerful showing on the first game. It just felt like they had a mismatched comp in terms of range options. So I feel like this adjustment really helped them, and I'm looking forward to see how it plays out in the next zones match.
Oh no, very much same here, especially how fluid it felt. If they can keep that fluidity going into Hagglefish zones here, it's going to spell a possible victory here for Helios. And I think they did catch Shimao. How do you say that? Sources say it is Shimao. Shimao.
I'm choosing to pronounce it incorrectly to make a fool of myself, and then maybe one of us will be right. Maybe one of us will be right. But I don't know. This is pretty exciting stuff, though. I think there's going to be some adaptation from Shimao as well to adjust the comp change from Helios as well. I'm expecting them to keep it because the comp that they just pulled out is also incredibly effective on this map as well. The crab, the pen, the tent, the gal. Do I need to say anything else? That is the push into us, I dare you. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good position for them to be in. Like, if they can just play that fluidity, and like Hagglefish Market plays very fluid, there's a lot of ways to move in and out safely. So I feel like if they just keep that same momentum, maintain that same comp, I feel like they have a pretty strong possibility of just taking this Hagglefish from 100 to 0. No, absolutely. And these are very capable players, so what? Did you say what? What's happening, Lily? Are you saying the players in Great White Top Cut are good? Oh, how could I? Sorry, they're terrible, by the way. They're terrible, I mean, they're probably not even Div 2. I'm just saying. Yeah, like, they could not be Div 2. Like, no way. No, this is why they're Div 9. They're Div 9, clearly. Div 9. Yeah. No. We love these guys. We love these guys. Listen, if I can't come to a weekly and razz everybody playing, then why am I even here? Yeah, like, we're here for the sillies, for the funnies. Like, this is like the equivalent of going out and like for a hangout, except we live like a country away. No. This is like it's like having karaoke night. So like everyone's out here and everyone's like singing their songs, and we're all making fun of each other. It's just good fun. It's good fun. It's good fun. It's good fun. Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say something about a certain member in Helios, but I'm going to be nice. Oh, I mean, I was going to look back at the cast and be like, what is happening? Or maybe he won't because he's a hater. I don't think that anyone should look back on this cast and think what is happening. They should just look back on the cast and enjoy it. So
Yeah, because we're amazing like that.
Yeah. But I mean, that said, we're getting into it here. It doesn't look like a whole lot of changes on the side of Helios, which is expected.
That's a disconnect. Well, there's the change we were looking for, actually. A disconnect.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to win top cut is to DDoS your opponent. Just heads up. I don't recommend doing it. It is illegal. But, you know.
Not with that attitude. You want to play a little DDoSing? No biggie.
I mean, we're always down for a little DDoSing out here. So well, I mean, we'll see how it goes when we eventually get back into it. But it didn't look like there's too many comp changes there. It looked like a fairly normal and fairly, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent with what we had seen already.
Is normal consistent in my game of Splatoon? Ugh.
I know, awful. Everyone should just play Clash Blaster.
Period. Or we can all play Lead Leader.
Ooh, can I?
Oops, all chargers.
I can't aim though.
Not with that attitude, Lily. Be the aim it's meant to be.
At the end of Splatoon 1, I did play Squiffer. Does that count?
Really? Oh yeah, absolutely. I love my Squiffers.
Yeah, my weapons at the end of Splatoon, at Splatoon 1 were Junior, obviously, Wasabi, and Squiffer. So.
I miss the Squiffer days. I don't. Spot Charger, like, kind of took over my Squiffer days and called it a day. I don't know.
If I have 2 minutes range, I get hives, so yeah, I just can't do that.
You're allergic to anything past the Squiffer hitbox.
Yeah.
The range.
It's because I'm short, you know, like if my range is longer than I am tall, I just break out in hives.
Yeah, I'm taller than you, Lily, right? I'm
sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
I was literally next to you like 2 months ago, bro. I was like...
It's okay. Most people are taller than me.
Dude, no, like, finding an average height... I don't know who I was talking to at Riptide. It was like... Which is like, they expected to look up or down, and were kind of shocked when they had looked directly at me. Just like, oh my god, your average height.
Like, yeah, I don't know what that's like.
No, Lily!
There's like every once in a while I find people who are my height and I'm like, holy shit. This is incredible.
It's like my brother in.
Right, yeah. But the very first LAN I ever went to, my friends joked that they were gonna have to tie a balloon to me so they could find me in the crowd. We didn't do that, but I did dye my hair bright pink and that worked out just as well.
And it looked great, by the way, Bestie. It was very slay of you. Yes. First time was so silly. We should do that next year. Can we get balloons? Can we tie balloons like based
to all
on
the short
colors?
people? No, let's just hand out balloons to the short people. Or no, balloons for the artist cards instead of bandanas.
Oh my god!
And then people can just look and see the yeah. I just look and see the balloons floating. They know.
Yeah. Also, we have a game. We should probably.
Yeah. I mean, I'm having good ideas. The game can wait.
yeah. Whatever. Anyways, we need spot zones. Anyways. Oh yeah, spot zones.
Yeah. I mean, moving into things, we do see a fast flank on the right hand side going to go down real quick, unfortunately, and a reverse flank from Tufa going all the way over. But the crabs coming out, I mean, fairly early and getting shredded so quickly with that whale and 52 combo.
Yeah, and you know, Helios is still able to maintain a huge hold of the zone, picking out A's and picking up asses while you're at it too. Again, really strong momentum there from Helios. Ever since that comp change, it feels like we're watching a different team. They're very confident in what they're doing. They're very fluid, and it's very rehearsed. This has been a map that we've played for, you know, ever since the launch of the game. So it makes sense why they're able to dominate right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like, they're essentially 2 down, and they're staggered 2 down, too. So it's going to make it difficult to get back in here. There's only 20 points left on the clock. This might be game unless they can find a very fast way into that zone.
I don't think there's going to be a way in at all. 2 down on Chimarrao, and Helios just, you know, being the monsters they are, adding salt to the wound. 3 down. That is game. That is a wipeout and knockout for Helios.
All right. So, I guess Helios heard our commentary and was like, we need our gameplay to be as fast as Fufu and Lily can talk, just to make this a little more interesting. And they just blew it out of the water.
Blew it out of the water indeed. They were swimming instead of sinking here on Helios. They're going to be moving on along the bracket, and we're going to be actually speed running because the next match is ready and our block is over, Lily.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, next match is already locked and loaded, so we have to get off the mic. We're going to send you some new commentators. They're fresh. They'll keep you going for the rest of the night. So we will be, well, first, Fufu, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at SplatFufu on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Twitch for, of course, commentary and artist shenanigans. Lily, where can the good people find you today?
Splatoon Lily, also on Twitch, Twitter, and on Blue Sky. So pretty easy. And for now, we're going to swap out. We'll send you some fresh, new, exciting people. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Happy Pokemon Legends ZA Eve to everyone in Twitch chat, and aside from that, let's get into the rest of Top Cut here. We are your new casters on the block. I'm Frostix, joined by Jolteon Jack, and we've got Great White Bracket Round 2, Seed 2 Vivify versus Seed 14 Oh Whoa. Let's get into this.
I don't know if we're in Paris in the Pokemon universe or in the Splatoon universe right now, but either way, I'm looking forward to having some fun tonight, Frost. And with our last little set before we get into our top bracket, I am expecting to see some good action on Splat Zone's Barnacle and Dime. These two teams are not ones I'm familiar with. Are you, you know much about them?
I've seen at least a couple of the members of Vivify in the past year. I think they've showed up to a lot of other weeklies, as well as I think a couple more majors. I would say maybe the NA League, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure they're also an EU team, so kind of redundant on that. And that being said, of course, Vivify is going unbeaten, and the same thing goes for Owo here. They've taken 2 O's across group stage as well as the first round of a Top Cut. So really interesting to see what perchance Golday, Devil, Venoct, and Blob can bring to the table.
That sounds like it's some fun to me. And on Barnacle, Zone's Barnacle Dime is not the map that I typically play. I typically see this more so in Clamblitz than Zones, though it is a very fun Zones map with its a lot of flanking opportunity, but also very good opportunity to hold your ground for these teams. But also great lanes for shutdown. It's an all-around pretty balanced map. I wonder if it's going to be a case of a very unstoppable force meets a very unmovable object. Right here on the side of yellow, we're looking at like a very standard, very similar comp on both sides with the Tetris and the pencil shared by both sides. Is that a gal on both sides as well? It is. The only thing different between the team being the mini Splatling or the stamp on the side of Oh Whoa. Already early lead for Vivify here, but right now it's just going to go back and forth. I'm wondering which side's going to take advantage here at the beginning.
Exactly. Already the zones is being flipped off. Here comes a stamp from Tamacross. Venoct is trying to step back here, stand their ground with this sticker stamper. They have the Booyah Bomb ready to go, but it's only Venoct left on the field. And meanwhile, Mambo and Mr. CB are trying to rush in. Multi's able to get rid of the gal here, and Awo is trying to push back out of their own spawn here. But if they can get held in court here, it could be a devastating lockout if Vivify can manage to hold their ground. But here comes the Booyah Bomb, and here comes the flip for Awo. And I think this could be where they can start their hold.
Yeah, it very much seems like OWO did a good job right there of like falling. They fell back down to one member, and that member not wanting to give a complete wipeout fell back and allowed the rest of the team to spawn in quickly, and they were able to pick off each member of Vivify one-on-one as they were very scattered about right now. Zone does flip back to Vivify before OWO can take lead, but we're only about a minute and 10 seconds into the game right here. 3 minutes, 50 seconds left on the clock. The Splat Zone is counting down, 2 down on the side of OWO, 1 down on the side of Vivify, but it looks like Vivify is just keeping their pressure right now that they tried to establish early on, but now have it. They got a Reef Slider ready, matched to a similar Reef Slider on the side of OWO. They're just waiting right here, sharking, a stamp coming out, trying to bait something. Reef Slider coming out right here, but not able to catch somebody, maybe put them in a bad position, but they get picked off. This might be what they need to set off as that Reef Slider comes in, might neutralize Zone here.
Okay. Does not neutralize those zones, show that, Jack. And Vivify is still counting down. It may just be up to Multi to potentially flip things off, but Vinox is charging the Booyah Bomb. The zone has gone into neutral. Here comes the Booyah Bomb. It has hit the zone. It is still in neutral here, and the pace from Vivify will keep the zone yellow, but not for long. It's back into neutral, and there it is. It has gone back into Vivify's hands in a very tug of war. Last couple of seconds in Barnacle and Dime. So Vivify will take game 1. What a start to our block.
That was wonderful right there, and I don't think I didn't see that last little hammer throw at the end there by Vivify. That is securing a kill, and potentially there's a with the fist bump to seal out the game. That's how you know it was good, ladies and gents. As we head here to Mommy Clam Blitz, this is a fun map for me. I don't know if that's an opinion shared across the community, but I always have a smile on my face when it comes to this specific Clam Blitz maps. Though it's very interesting how it sort of flips. I sort of usually see Umami zones and Barnacle Dime Clam Blitz. The modes rotated. But given what we saw in last game, how do you think the teams will adapt to this new map and mode?
Well, both of these teams, like you said in the beginning of that Barnacle match, they were running kind of parallels to each other. They had the Gal, they had the Pencil, they had the Tetra here. And I wouldn't say that both of those teams would warrant having to swap off here. I think if they can find a way to really press the advantage with that aggressive comp here, I think more so on OWO's end here, you know that the combo potential of the Stamper is unlimited. I'd say it can combo off the Gal, it can, dare I say, combo off the Pencil, and obviously, oh no, not combo off the Pencil, but combo off the Tetra, and of course, combo off of the Snipe Rider. I think I'm getting my words a little bit jumbled here, but I think if OWO can kind of get their targets locked down here and try to break out of the kind of the shackles that Vivify is kind of setting on them, I think they can get something really wonderful going off. Is that a Nautilus I see in the hands of Tamacross? That is beautiful.
There's no way. There it is. With the new rain buffs, I've been seeing that Nautilus a lot more in competitive play. Also, it's been a nice change, but it also it sort of tricks me a little bit because I go up and I'm like, I have to keep my distance because the splashdown could come out at any second. And I'm like, why is there rain? Why is there effect damage? No, ow, ow, ow. It's just a little bit annoying. 1 down on each side right here, just playing for control right here. But unfortunately, Vivify seems to have lost all of their eco right now. OWO only has 7, so not enough for a push. But definitely a majority of the clams that had spawned in the initial push are on the side of OWO right here. Once again, just 1 down on either side. They're just playing for mid-offs right now. Once again, another trade.
Now in a really big battle of mid right now here. It seems that both Vivify and OWO are just constantly going back and forth, trading picks, catching names here. And we're seeing the Nautilus trying to stand their ground. They get shut down by the Pencil here. Lace is just going in and out of Divider here, trying to take a duel with Mr. CB. Here comes the wall here to isolate it off. Lace throws a wall of their own here. It's like they're just trading off utility. But with a Reef Slider coming out from Multi, I think that's going to claim 2 and finally start an opening for OWO. Do they have the clams going? Yes, they do. Lace will throw the first power clam in. The Booyah Bomb was being charged by Vinox, and there's more power clams being flown in from Multi. From Lace, here comes a slider from Mambo, getting rid of Glob here, but they do push the lead to 62. That's that 60-point threshold that you ideally want for your first clams push. So that's a really strong start from OWO.
I was wondering if Multi would be able to get that clam and just extend it, maybe get down to the 50s, but unfortunately Vivify was able to push him back out right there, able to regroup. That slider, able to separate 2 members of OWO and catch one of them off guard and get a splat was very important to reestablishing control right here. But they, speaking of reestablishing control, using this cooler, trying to get back into mid. Some whales coming out right now, trying to get a pick. They do manage to do that. A Booyah Bomb's going to come out right here as well. They got plenty of clams for a push right now, but unfortunately their offense gets picked off by that Pencil. allowing that. But the super jump in was able to get. Snuck up inside to get the super jump in down to 55. I don't even know what happened, Frost, but they're just dancing right now. Unfortunately, not able to get much in, but it is enough to allow OWO to stop any push that Vivify had. But right now, 3 members are down. What is happening, Frost?
I think we just managed to see maybe one of the first, like, sneak, not one of the first, but one of many Power Clam sneaks. But right now, Vivify has a push going on their own. They do throw one Power Clam in, but now it's only the pencil left on the field here, and they are alone. They are only a quarter way towards the cooler, and they have a Tetra hunting them down. They managed to jump out right in the nick of time, but right now, that push was feeble. It only gave OWO more resources. They have a Pity Clam lying in wait, and OWO just has so much space in mid right now. They're just chilling on Divider here, trying to poke them out with bombs. Lace has the whales ready to go here. Now they're trying to move in here. They're trying to spot out Mambo, trying to potentially get on Mr. CB as well. The whales come out here. The slider also comes out from Mambo. It will get rid of Multi. Lace is also going down, so it looks like Mr. CB and Mambo is just heralding the charge with these whales, and the rains have provided by Tamacross. Do they have the power clamp to get things going though? I'm not sure if I'm seeing it in anyone's back pocket, but they do have the picks to suffice that. 2 members down on OWO, and the power clamp has been formed by Mr. CB. Now it's just a matter of getting that in, Jack.
I think their original power clam got snuffed out right there, but they were quickly able to make another one right now. They have control of mid, but they do not have enough firepower to get in right now. I see them farming for special. They have a Reef Slider on deck, but they need a better entry at this moment. Mambo jumps out right there quickly thanks to the niftiness of that cooler, looking for an angle to potentially send this Reef Slider in once the entire team is ready. Going for a pick right here, able to get it on Viscott. The whale coming out as well, but unfortunately the Reef Slider gets canceled, and another one of their gals goes down. That is going to put a stop. A counter Reef Slider right here picking off, but unfortunately not able to get one of the members of Mambo. They eventually go down. It's once again just this stalemate right here. Vivify has 1 minute left on the clock if they need to be able to breach the impeccable defense right here of OWO if they want to make this comeback happen.
It's already looking like their offensive forces are starting to dwindle. Mambo has gone down. 45 seconds left on the clock. Mambo is coming back here. Vanox going down. But now Multi is blitzing the Divider here. But now there's 2 members down on, I think that is OWO. I think this is finally Vivify's chance to move in here. But now Multi, on the other hand, just have the power climb of their own. They're breaking the barrier on Vivify's end. Is that a second power climb I see in Vanox's back pocket?
It sure is.
Boom! A second power climb has hit the basket, pushing OWO's lead to 28, and Blob is just on cleanup duty here, ensuring that Mr. CB cannot get any sneaky power clams in like what OWO did earlier. There's now under 10 seconds left on the clock here. Vivify need to potentially make this work into overtime. They have 2 power clams of their own. They need to have a Hail Mary push if they want this to work. The rain comes down from Tamacross. Let's break this down, Jack.
They're going in fast right here. That's 3 down. This is exactly the type of push they need. Moving in with the rain. Both power clams do go in, immediately making it down to 30. About 30 points. They just need 2 more clams in that basket. 1 more down. 2 members down on the side of. Oh, it's just the gal. The gal is being pushed out right here. They only have a half bit on the timer left. I don't think they're gonna make it back in. They're not. Viva down. The game sealed. Oh, winning the game by 1 point.
A single point that OWO had over Vivify. That was still an extremely well executed push on Vivify's end. Everything did fall in the right hands here. I think what was just missing was that last power clam in their back pocket, that last clam in their back pocket, which means OWO will take this game to game number 3. We will be seeing Mahi Mahi Resort Zones. OWO is not going down without a fight, and I think what OWO did right in this match was just constantly put the pressure on Vivify here. They constantly had, like, they established the game, they opened the game with a really solid push here, and then they just kept going. They kind of built things up, took baby steps, had these small pushes interwoven in between. Even still, they had a really strong grip over mid and constantly kept Vivify on the offensive with barely any resources, barely any players. So now that we've seen kind of what both of these teams can offer, what's in store for us for game 3?
I mean, we've seen a lot of technical skill right here on the game, and on a map like Mahi Mahi Zones, technical skill is definitely needed. We saw in that Clams game during OWO's second push when their Gal user initially got the Super Clam in, though they were losing that fight, they left a splash wall for their incoming teammate for the jump, and that allowed them to get the second ball in very easily. And I am expecting to see such technical and like team coordination on a map like this, because this map flips a lot, especially once those walls come down. It can be very hard to like get past like the mid time. You either get locked down on this map, or this map comes down to the wire, I feel, on zones.
So will it come down to the wire? What will we see out of both of these teams? We just saw Tamacross switch over to Zimmy, which I feel like was really interesting. This is their third Splatling switch this game, and I think Zimmy's a really underrated choice here. It has Toxic Mist that could easily start tripping up the more aggressive members like Lace, like Multi, like potentially Vinoct here, and then that bubble can chop up so much good territory and allows Vivify to have at least a little bit more staying power. But now, as I say this, Mr. CB will be going down as first blood here. Vinoct's going down next here, but now Lace and Multi are striking here. They are able to trade off the dualies, but now it's only up to the pencils left, as the rest of Vivify is now storming the frontier with Mr. CB and the pencil spearheading this push, finally claiming the zone as theirs as the count starts ticking down.
I mean, the classic Gal engagement, just shooting behind Splatzones. Wonderful spacing right there from Vinoct on that stamp kill. Double right there, maybe about to get a triple. They do, solidifying Owo's presence right here, trying to get up to the high ground, unfortunately gets shut down. We were talking about the bubble earlier, as we see it right here coming out from Tamacross, is able to get a pick off its activation as well. The bubble on this map particularly is like the size that it takes up about half of the zone, so it is great for holding space in either offense or starting to push. It is absolutely wonderful. Once again, Owo will flip the zone control before Vivify is able to take lead. To very reminiscent of the first game. Multi with the beautiful multi-kill hits their name.
Yeah, like Multi just kind of just went in, started breaking ankles here, and now just allows Owo to at least get that lead. And finally, after maybe like I think 2 minutes into the game, the water level has finally dropped here, and now I think those aggressive members like Mr. CB and Mambo on Vivify, and then also basically almost the entire team of Owo can start moving a lot more freely now. And Owo has a really strong grip, already cruising past the 30s into the 20s, and Mambo will pop out the Reef Slider, putting the zone into neutral here. Will this be enough to flip? It does not look like that's the case, especially with 2 members down, as Owo is right back into control. They are cruising past the 20s now into the 10s. It is now starting to become lethal, as 2 members of Vivify are down. Is up to only Tamacross, and there are 3 members of Owo on the zone, and there is not enough paint to put it into neutral, as Owo will take the set 2-0 in a stunning upset against Vivify. They are going to semifinals.
That they are, and that was beautiful adaptation from the first game where they lost in zones. I was making a comment of it earlier, the fact that, you know, very similar to the first game where Owo was about to take lead early on in the game, but Vivify cuts it off 1 point before, and I was wondering if we were going to see a repeat of Vivify just slowly holding out, but Owo was able to see that, see what happened wrong in the first game, adapt to it in the second, and then fully implement their new strategy in this third, allowing them to take the 2-0 over Vivify. This was a wonderful match to end off our round robin before we head into semis here.
Yeah, so now looking at the greater forecast of Great White Bracket here, we have the semis set up. Over in the top end of semis, we have Seed 1 Usagi Fanclub versus Seed 4 Cat Checkpoint, and on the other end, Owo versus Seed number 3 Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew tonight. Shout out Travis Scott, I guess. So up on the next set we will be casting is the previously aforementioned Usagi Fan Club and Cat Checkpoints here. I think they are practically ready, as we are now seeing right now here. So Usagi Fan Club. Oh yeah, what's up?
Hey, the match is ready. We're ready, my man. We're going into this. This ramen has been cooking in the background, and it is time to open it up, because it's Robo Ramen Splat Zones, and I am always excited when it is this map.
I actually had ramen for dinner. I was out with some friends tonight, and we went to this one ramen spot. I had skimmen, and it was really salty, but it was nice. Pretty good. I'm not sure if I'll ever have that again, but surely Robo Ramen is just skimmen. You should try that. Anyways,
I'll admit I'm more of an udon guy, but I do enjoy me some.
I am an udon fiend. Yeah, udon's great.
Let's go.
My college food court has this a Japanese spot that sells like udon that can go as low as like $6, and I always have that. It is great.
There's like 3 noodle places in walking distance of me, and I've never been happier in my life.
Yeah, you know, get your lunch while you can, man. Sustenance.
There's few things that people need in this world. Ramen is one of them.
Yeah, ramen is one of them, and the other one is potentially getting into finals of Swimmer Sync. So this is what Usagi Fanclub and Cat Checkpoint are fighting over. Leaf, CJ Goose, and Ryu on the end of Usagi Fanclub, and on Cat Checkpoint, Kronos, Nerdy Adam, Kraken Mare, and Anon. So, of course, names that you probably do recognize, at least if you are, of course, tuned in to the scene. I think we also have, we totally forgot to mention this, Jack, but we have entered best of 5 sets. So these sets will be longer, the matches will be hotter, and we will have more to say. And here is the extended map forecast.
Very typical type of set you'd see in something such as like a standard tournament bracket like CCA or anything. I actually think I played this exact bracket the other week. It does look very familiar to me. And all maps that are very, very, very dynamic and are very, very back and forth. Ramen zones, you see a lot of play with verticality with the sides of this map, especially fighting for that center zone. And even once you get into enemy's base, there's a lot of verticality on both sides, on offense and on defense. And I love it when I get to see teams take full advantage of that, and I'm hoping we get to see that tonight.
Yeah, definitely. When one thing that I have now recently kind of started working into my own gameplay, as now that I'm part of a team, is I think when you're really locked into it, because I think Robo-Ramen is one of those modes in which you can be locked out if you kind of don't watch yourself. Next thing you know, you'll be faced with a very blitzkrieg knockout. What you could potentially do is that there's this elevated surface. There's this elevated platform that is just kind of like one spawn jump away, and what you can do off of it is squid roll, and that will take you directly to the bottom layer. It is a maneuver that I call the sneaky jump, and it is like. That being said, it does take longer to do that than just go through elbow, but if you're really locked in, and if you can go there unnoticed, it could be a really huge flank.
It's very useful for, I mean, hey, it's something that maybe I can't do as the very obnoxious and visible Dynamo player, but I might I might be the person that distracts so someone like you can pull around like that.
I mean, you know, elephant in the room, address me. Who knows? As we now go in to Robo-Ramen, I think we just witnessed Jack do his best elephant impression. We see the return of
cut off and I'm sad.
We see the return of Zimmy in the hands of 6-7, and we're also seeing the return of Tenta Sorella, previously seen in the I think round 1 match with. There's two
Sorellas, Frost. There's two. There's two.
This is getting out of hand.
There's 2 of them. The Brella's touch tips. They're gone.
And now there's 2 of them. So now it is a back and forth paint off here. The bubble has been deployed by the Zimmy. Kronos is being forced to jump back into elbow as the strikes come down, not dealing a lot of damage to the zone in the present moment. The shield has been deployed by Kronos, who is immediately getting gunned down in the streets of Robo-Ramen, as Usagi Fanclub has a very, very strong hold, but now as the zone was going into neutral, not right now.
Yeah, right now it's just playing a lot. Cat Checkpoint is just pushed back into their base, unable to do stuff. We see Kraken Marie trying to get down there. Zuko off right here. Unfortunately, Usagi Fanclub is going to take the kill, but quickly avenged by Kraken Marie. This might give them the offense that they need if they try to neutralize zone. But once again, their Brella goes down, but it does flip Checkpoint for just a moment. Immediately neutralized again before we can even get 3 points. But it seems like this is the thing that Cat Checkpoint needs, is they got Cooler coming out. Kronos trying to get that splat off the jump. They are able to do so, pushing in right now with this Brella pressure. We'd love to see it, but they are going to need some backup if they want to keep it sustained.
I mean, they're just popping up the Fortnite move. They're able to one-pump Usagi Fanclub, stalling them for the little while longer. I think Cat Checkpoint could be able to at least break into the 50s, just barely managing to take the lead before the zone flips. And now the tent on the side of Usagi Fanclub is starting to move up to the elbow. Nerdy Adam will not be able to get that flank off. Will 6-7 notice Kraken Mare on the flank here? They are at least distracted by Kronos as the zone goes into neutral. Kraken Mare is still on the bottom layer here, just trying to potentially catch any potential stragglers here. The Zimmy has gone down, the S-Blast has gone down, and I think finally with the numbers diminishing on Usagi Fanclub, Cat Checkpoint will finally get the zone back in their hands. They still have this lead by 1 point as they count down their penalty.
3 minutes about to hit here on the clock right now. Marie unable to probably push in as much as she would like due to all the mines that are on the field that not only disrupt any sharking matters, but also point them out. That's going to be a big thing right here. Leaf taking out Kronos right there with some well-placed shots, once again flipping zone control over to Usagi Fanclub. And right now they've pushed the rest of Cat Checkpoint mostly back into their base. This is what I was talking about in terms of playing with height. We see Nerdy all playing off top right here. Kronos doing the little jump shots right here. Leaf just absolutely oh no, it failed. Ninja! Oh, that was heartbreaking as Kronos quickly whipped around with the Zuka and just was able to get take a Leaf out before getting the pick, and once again flipping over zone control to Cat Checkpoint. Though Usagi Fanclub was able to take lead. There's about 2 minutes, 15 seconds left on the clock. It's still anybody's game here.
Talk about or lost sleep. I am so sorry. And now Cat Checkpoint are out of their penalty points. The sodas have been deployed. The zone has gone into neutral. It is only up to Krakenmare, who does go down. The zone is primarily blue, but with this Booyah Bomb coming out from Leaf, that is more penalty points applied to Cat Checkpoint, and Leaf immediately with the Aura Recovery getting a double on Nerdy Adam and Kronos as they are trying to push in, accompanied by who I think the tent here, but now they have to deal with a tent problem of their own. The Ink Mines have been deployed and are Venn diagramming, revealing most of Cat Checkpoint in elbow, but now they've dropped to the bottom layer. The Whales will get rid of the tent, potentially also the Zimmy, and Nerdy Adam is moving in on the flank here, trying to at least get this zone painted. It is halfway blue. Kronos is also trying to sniff things out. They pop out the Zuka, but I think not a lot of paint is coming out. They are able to at least get rid of Leaf, but they need to get the zone flipped and flip it. Stat, will they be able to turn this blue? The 10 shields are just crossing each other like it's a freeway, and now finally Cat Checkpoint are able to flip the zone, applying 46 penalty points to Usagi Fanclub. They are still in this for the meantime.
Leaf was trying to once again Aura recover, as you were saying, by trying the exact same little shark attempt. Was able to pick one off once they fell down, but once again got absolutely sniped by Kronos. Right now it's just a little bit back and forth right here. Kronos pushing up with the Zuka, unable to get any shots, but disrupting the team quite a bit. Pushing in with this now redeployed tent. They got some backup this time, so they're being a bit more aggressive. The tents want to once again touch tips and disappear, though Kronos is being forced to back off right here. It's one down on either side. The Zuka trying to get some shots off, but unfortunately the Zenny goes down as they deploy Bubble. That Bubble is no longer safe. Kronos just doing the best to keep them out. Zone is still in control. 30 seconds left on the clock, but it once again flips. It wiped side of Usagi Fanclub. That sets a barrier for Cat Checkpoint to work through right now. There's 22 seconds left. They have so many points now to try to work out it before they get. I think we're probably going to go into overtime here.
Definitely needs to work in overtime for Cat Checkpoint, but with 2 members down, things could prove testy. Nerdy Adam needs to get in the right position to start striking, and strike it fast. Here come the strikes, and they are hitting the zone here. It's a little displaced here. Will this be enough to enter overtime? No, it will not, as the zone has been capped in yellow by Usagi Fanclub in Usagi's yellow coat color, which means they will take the first game of 5.
Great game by both players right there. Unfortunately, Cat Checkpoint, a bad time to die right there. Great defense on the side of Usagi. This is setting up for a good set, and a fist bump to close it out. You love to see it. But now now that we've gotten some lunch, now that we're all restored with our energy and well into semifinals, we're heading to the museum, Frost. We're gonna see some beautiful artwork, and maybe some artwork painted in squid blood as we head to Museum D'Alfonsino Clam Blitz.
I told you that I went to an art museum yesterday. Would you believe me?
No.
Oh, well, believe it or not, that's true. I went to the museum. I surprisingly also went to an art museum yesterday. It's like this entire map rotation is like kind of telling my week so far. I had ramen for dinner, and then I went to the museum, and then I don't know if I went grocery shopping though. I think that's where
I was like, yeah. Did you go grocery shopping? Then have to pass under the sketchy bridge because the highway was there was an accident on the highway, so you didn't want to have to deal with that traffic. And then you managed to drive by like the little fresh market that popped up, so you could actually get your groceries because they didn't have what you wanted at Macco Mart because prices are skyrocketing.
Unfortunately, I think this is where everything starts becoming a coincidence. But then we're back on Clam Blitz on Museum D'Alfonsino. Of course, Clam Blitz on Museum kind of comes down to just holding ground here. I think if you can kind of control the enemy's spinner while you're doing that push here, you can have really, really strong and prolonged pushes. And then it really just depends on how well you can kind of stand your ground once the barrier breaks, and more so also how you can kind of break into it, because there are two ways of breaking in. You can go through the steps and then through the spinner, or you can test your luck, go through the conveniently placed box. We'll just have to see what'll happen. What will we see out of both of these teams?
I mean, we saw Usagi Fanclub doing a great job of holding position throughout most of that match. I'm not expecting to see much of a change on that side, and not much of a change in terms of weapon comp right here either. Basically the same aside from Leaf switching out the the S-Blast for 52 Gal right here. Just a little bit more consistent, better at picking midline fights right here. Already they're out there. The Zinni just being annoying and trying to poke right here. They might be a little bit too far out of position right now. And they do unfortunately go down. It was the Gal. That's my bad. Once again, leading the charge is Kronos with it. That's an early wipeout right here. This is exactly what Cat Checkpoint needs. They have so much eco on the ground, but it seems like they are immediately met before their offense can even get started, and their power clam is in a position where they are not able to retrieve it, but they do have control of mid right now, so they are trying to keep control right here. We're only 40 seconds in, Frost, and so much has happened.
I can definitely understand why Cat Checkpoint wants to go for the conveniently placed box. It just kind of saves time on pushes here, but it is also really closer to the spawning, to the respawning enemy teams, which is exactly what Usagi did to Cat Checkpoint. They managed to punish them right before the power clamp could go in. Nerdy Adam being one pumped by the tent on Usagi Fanclub, and now I think they're trying to get things going. They're already encroaching onto the top spinner. Do they have the power clamps to go? Meteor does have 7 in their back pocket. And now Kraken Bear is going for the flank. They are able to get rid of the Zimmy as well as the tent, and also managing to dispatch the power clamp, dropping it into the water. Not a lot of progress going on so far, Jack.
Yeah, that's it. Usagi's once again. Hey, we saw Cat's entire offense get picked out one by one, just much quicker. And now Cat Checkpoint has just picked him off the table like a little bit of a game of cat and mouse right here. Mid, once again, fighting over mid right here. Like you said, we're just trying to see who can get control of mid. Nerdy Adam right here trying to get into a better position to use these strikes. Here they come. One down on the side of Usagi Fanclub. They do have a power clam ready at their disposal. One down on the side of Cat Checkpoint. Just trying to paint right now. Right now, eco advantage, even though it is by 2 clams, is in the favor of Usagi Fanclub, so you have to be careful. And they do seem to have more pain on the ground as one more member of Cat Checkpoint goes down. They're pushing out slowly right here, trying to disrupt each of the members, keep their attention pulled away. It seems like they're trying to make a push right here, but their gal goes down, and the rest of the team is pulled back to mid to try to fight. It's just once again return to neutral right here. I don't think we're going to see much push until maybe the last couple seconds here.
I'm not sure if you managed to catch that, but I think Kronos managed to pull the most insane flank known to man. I saw them in the corner of my eye on Usagi Fanclub spinner, and then they managed to get rid of 2. And now, speaking of getting rid of 2, there's 3 members down. The strikes come out from Cat Checkpoint here, but 6-7 is holding down the line with the Zimmy. They finally go down here. The power clamp has been picked up by Kronos, and finally, there's the basket break here. And now, a second power clamp has been formed by, I think, the pencil, but I don't think Kronos is going to be able to pick it up in time. They are trying to take the fight over to Usagi Fanclub here, but they're backed into a corner. They are going to be dispatched of Krakenmare trying to pick up the pieces. They are able to get rid of 6-7. Leaf is in the middle of a firefight. They get gunned down by Nerdy Adam, who is trying to weave around Spinner, potentially get another pick on to for Cat Checkpoint. They hold the lead, but only by a single power clam.
That they do. I mean, hey, the lead is the lead right now, and with 2 down on the side of Usagi Fanclub, even though their initial push right there did get stopped, and their second push got stopped, the third push might be what succeeds right here as we see Kronos once again the tense touch tips and disappear completely. Strikes coming out right here, pushing the rest of Cat Checkpoint back. The power clam does get in, and now we are able to get normal clams in top, getting down to 55 points before the rest of the team jumps out. This is a smart lead to hold right here as they still have control of mid with 1 minute and 20 left on the clock. They need to play this smart. They need to try to maintain eco advantage, because now Usagi Fanclub is going to have a pity clam and their already formed power clam. There is 2 down on their side already, thanks to some well-placed Zuka shots right now. So this might be exactly what Cat Checkpoint needs, as there's only 1 minute left on the clock.
Point right now is just unrelenting. No matter how much, no matter how long this kind of moment, these moments of respite are for Usagi Fan Club, Checkpoint just simply says, no, that's enough of that. Time to face us again. But now, I think Usagi Fan Club is starting to find their footing, find their pause. Now onto mid, they have a good grip of it. But now, with 2 members down on Cat Checkpoint, this could be what they need. It's only the Pencil and Nerdy Adam. Kronos is now respawning back on Spinner. And we're seeing the Power Clam in the hands of the Pencil here. I think there's also someone with 7 Power Clams. Kronos has gone down. There's 2 down and 2 Power Clams ready to go. The barrier has been broken and a second Power Clam has hit the basket. And now with 3 members down on Usagi Fan Club, they do at least get the lead by 1 point.
The long arm on that one Squid Kid right there, able to secure the lead for Usagi Fan Club, and their clam carrier goes down right there. Kraken Mare just running around in base. They get into the thing, but they do manage to get a power clam and take lead. That will secure the victory for Checkpoint. Kraken Mare sending in 1 more clam to secure the deal. Beautiful work by Cat Checkpoint. They lost lead in the last 20 seconds of the game, but they kept their cool, and just like that, they win the game by a few clams.
Oh, cats! Holy crap! What the hell? I think we've just witnessed Kraken Mirror just steal victory. Consider them the phantom thief of clams. they just run it. They run it through mid, through the conveniently placed box, collect the clams needed, and with a single power clam, retake the lead that was stolen within the last 30 seconds. Oh, my voice is
all
already
this
giving
Hanarame's palace with how those phantom thieves were able to steal victory right there.
Oh yeah. And now we're going to game 3. It is no match point just yet, as we now enter once again the middle of the Splat Zone sandwich here. This could be interpreted as a Splat Zone's Big Mac, as there are 3 buns, and the middle bun is Mako Mart. You know you love my analogy.
Yep, the Big Mac of Splat Zones right here, ladies and gentlemen. Mako Mart. I'm not dying right now, I promise. We will not have to go to commercial. Though I will probably pick up some cough medicine in aisle 3 right here, also known as the little trench areas off to the side, because those can be used to get onto those 2 burger buns that we so love on this map. I love seeing just how dynamic this map is, and with how insane the movement from certain members of this match has been looking at Kraken Mare. I'm expecting to see them take full opportunity and just go in hard through those trenches.
Being said though, I think we saw how good the Zimmy was as chopping up territory and just supporting or just disrupting potential pushes from Cat Checkpoint back on Robo Robin here. I think with the isolated fighting zones that Mako Mart has, I feel like that Zimmy could potentially bring out a lot, not a lot more, but just like the same amount of value that they were bringing at the last couple games. Is that Leaf on Custom Blaster? We have Splashdown in the function now, and that's potentially some good zone flipping on Usagi Fan Club that they may have been lacking on the last, specifically on Robo-Ramen, because Leaf was on Booyah Bomb. So I think Splashdown could at least provide some, at least a little bit more zone flipping power while still having that AoE power that Blaster brings to the table.
I mean, yes. So far, most teams have stayed with what they know best. Cat Checkpoint, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They've just saying 6-7 able to secure the checkpoint right here. I hated saying that sentence so much. Leave off the side, just trying to get some sharking in. Unfortunately, the team learned from Leaf's shenanigans in the first game and spotted him quickly. So Leaf unfortunately goes down right here, though not in the same way that we saw in the first game, which might have been more embarrassing, even if it was maybe more effective. 50 already down to 55 points on the side right here. Kronos taking out the Zuka, able to eventually win the 1v1 right here. 2 down on the side of Usagi Fan Club as they're trying to push in right here with this tent coming out right now. That might be able to secure them a couple kills right now. They do get 1, make it 2. They force a jump out right there, and they are able to flip zone before Usagi Fan Club is able to get much more in, as we just break into 3 minutes here on the clock.
That being said, the damage has been dealt. Usagi Fan Club managed to get halfway through their point, and they're already right back into control. As soon as I say that, though, Caster's Curse immediately flips the zone into blue. But once again, this Zibby holding down the line, and once again, the tent shields are crossing paths and I think Usagi Fan Club is still holding this zone very strong. They're almost, I think, out of their penalty points. They're out past the 30s, into the 20s. The tent has the Zuka ready to go, looking to potentially fire onto Plat here. And now that they're in a good firing spot, Kronos also has the Zuka ready to go. Nerdy Adam will toss the strikes here, and now we're seeing the tents firing off the Zuka, but now Usagi Fan Club are out of their penalty points. They have a splashdown ready to go, and there's no Kraken Mare, no pencil on cat checkpoints, as Usagi Fan Club are still counting things down now into the 20s with a bubble and a splashdown ready to roll.
Yeah, we saw the tents pass each other like shopping carts going down either side of the aisle. If they were to collide, it would be disastrous. Right now, all specials used on the side of Cat Checkpoint. They do flip the zone momentarily, but not enough. They flip it again, but once again, 3 members down. That is going to secure Usagi Fan Club the win right there. Able to just pick up each member of Cat Checkpoint one by one, just putting each of the cats back into the pet aisle where they belong. And now they have taken the game in a knockout victory right here.
That's smart. I don't know if your normal Makeover would have a pet aisle, but anyways, that is game 3 going to Usagi Fan Club, as now we go into a match point on Undertow Spillway Tower Control. I don't think we've casted a tower match this entire block, Jack, so
we have not.
Interesting to see what both of these teams could bring to the table. And like I said earlier before we went into Mako Mart here, I think Usagi Fan Club really did pull out the stops in terms of their defense here. And I think it really comes in the form of the tent as well as the Zimmy. I think that, I don't really know the names here because I think that's Goose on the tent. And that should be either a CJ, it's either CJ or Ryu on the Mini. So really good at just holding down the line here with the 10 shield as well as the big bubbler and the toxic mist on both of those weapons here, just constantly keeping cat checkpoints at bay, not allowing themselves to claw themselves onto zone for a bit. Meanwhile, on the end of cat checkpoints here, we saw how volatile and explosive they can be on Clam Blitz here, and I think if they can really get that ball rolling like really early, if they can secure a lot of early momentum in their favor here, they could get something going on tower control.
Yeah, I think they might be able to get the ball rolling. Undertow is a very weird tower control map, especially with the usage of that graded area off to the side. It plays with verticality in a very different way than a map like Ramen does, because it's much more, it's not as easily accessible. It's much more one-sided in terms of the verticality here, and also you can see through it. You can, there is glass, but instead of being side to side, it's underneath. So you look up and you see, oh yeah, that's where the pencil is. They're right down there, raining death upon my team. And it is a map that I think will lean more to Usagi Fan Club's pick of weapons here, especially those blasters that we're going to see. And I don't just say that because it's tower control. This is a very blaster-focused map. But we'll see if I'm right or not as we head in here.
So what is in store? If Usagi Fan Club wins this, they will have their tickets punched to finals, where they will face Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew tonight. And now, on the other end, once again, still no switch-ups from Cat Checkpoint and Usagi Fan Club, sticking with their Mako Mart comp for Undertow Spillway here. Of course, I will never doubt a custom blaster. I just love that kit because it has Splashdown. But now we're seeing Leaf trying to get things going. They're just hugging the back of that tower here. I think they're trying to spot out a potential flanker on their end here, but they're actually pushing up, landing some chips onto Nerdy Adam as well as Kraken Mare. That is no brush for Cat Checkpoint at the moment, and Leaf is just heralding the push ever so slightly here. They're trying to dive onto Anon, but Anon survives in this present moment. But now the strikes come in, and Usagi's Fan Club are still staying in this upper point with 2 members down on Cat Check, but potentially 3. And I think Usagi's Fan Club are really poised to get this ball rolling.
Great usage of the cooler right there. Leaf was played a little overzealous, did get taken down, but they spawned back in with their special and just jumped right in, was able to get 2 nice secured kills with thanks to the usage of that splashdown. They're already down to the last checkpoint as they have 2 members down right here. They all jump to tower to break through the checkpoint as fast as possible. There's only 10 points left. Splashdown right here is going to get a few, taking 2 down. That is the game. Usagi Fan Club takes it to 3-1, is securing their spot in finals with a breeze of a round. They were like, yep, it is time to go. We got a flight to catch, and that flight is to finals of SOS here.
Oh, What a blitzkrieg. I don't think we saw Usagi Fan Club get off of tower at all, and there's the bump between CJ and Leaf. Of course, I think CJ very, very keen on staying through that tower amidst all the chaos going on, and Leaf being the herald of those aggressive pushes here, able to spot out potential Sharkers with that point sensor here, and then that combo of the blaster and the splashdown, able to just clear out so much space for the rest of Usagi Fan Club to just stomp their way to victory. So they have their tickets punched to finals. They will be facing Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew tonight in winners bracket in Great White Finals, and cat checkpoints going on to the third place match against the previously seen Owo. And wow, that image of Travis Scott is very, very compressed.
It is so pixelated. Oh my god! It's you just have like this, like the burger, the bun, like a little face on the side, and then it's just like pixels on the side of Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew.
Actually, that is very
Splatoon names, ladies and ladies, gents, and non-binary folk of all types. As always, the names are the best parts of these tournaments.
We have a very polarizing two profile pictures. The Usagi is very wide in nature of Usagi's nature, and we have a very thin Travis Scott, maybe in reference to the Rodeo album cover. Who knows, per se. But now we're going into the final set of Great White Bracket, and we're opening on ship-shape zones. And this can be very volatile, of course, if you don't stand your ground in the wake of a hold here, because I think ship shape is lockout central. So
it very much is, and it also very much favors Usagi's the weapons Usagi would like to play. This is a very good tent map, especially playing down below in that zone, and as well as we've seen splashdowns before from Leaf right there. This is a wonderful splashdown map and just a great blaster map in general. So I wonder what Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew will be able to pull out to potentially counteract or meet the offense of Usagi Fan Club head on.
I think what I am at least noticing when it comes down to, I think Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew, they do have Comrade there, so we can expect Carbon at the function. We can't expect Carbon. Teeny is also there. I think we can maybe expect Nautilus at the function, and Ori is there. Now Ori can potentially get out of chat and into the game. So we are picking weapons, and we'll have to see what is in store from Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew. Usagi Fan Club, what we saw from them was very, very stalwarts. I think they were just, once Usagi Fan Club can just kind of anchor down on a space, have all of their angles checked here, it is very hard to get rid of them. When they have weapons like Tent, when they have weapons like Zimmy, and when they have the supportive, when they have the support, of course, from the pencil as well, they are a very immovable object to get rid of. So I think it may need to take an unstoppable force, and maybe it may come in the form of Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew.
This might be a match of the unstoppable force meets the unstoppable force.
Or maybe immovable object and immovable objects.
Well, that's just not a very fun game to watch.
Yeah, that's
you just see like an all backline game just sitting just in the back until somebody gets like, I don't know, vac or strikes or something, and then they just hold zone for the rest of the game. That does remind me of a time that my friends and I did all Inkmine game, but that's a story for another day right here as we're heading in. And once again, we see what we predicted. We see a Carbon, a Wiper, and a Headit along with a pair of V-Dualies coming out on the side of Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew right here. Very aggressive group. I do wonder how they'll be able to fare against the Tenebrella right here as Usagi Fan Club takes early control, but already a cooler on the side of Let's Get These Squad Wins for the WI. There's no way I can say that name each time during this match. Oh no, the crab got canceled.
That does get cancelled here. That's pretty pivotal for Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew. But now Lincoln Virus is moving in with this stamp here. It's already commanding a lot of presence here. It will be thrown, but it won't be able to get rid of these Zimmy. And once again, Usagi Fan Club are just standing their ground, holding the line here, making sure that these bridges as well as the rest of court are just locked off from Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew. Already two specials online for Usagi Fan Club. The Booyah Bomb is being charged by Leaf. The Zuka is being fired off by the 10th, but now there's two members down. And now Now I think this is finally the time for Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew to move in, because Usagi Fan Club are almost within the 20 threshold. Will they be able to flip the zone in blue? It is halfway, neck and neck. It is a tug of war for control. This Mini is just holding down the line here with only their weapon alone. But finally, Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew tonight. We'll finally flip the zone, and 60 penalty points will be applied to Usagi Fan Club.
You know, I thought it was a very weird placement for Bubble up top, not in the zone itself, but it actually allowed for Usagi Fan Club to hold on for space and allow for a jump to get in, and that jump unfortunately wasn't able to counter much. Lincoln coming in right here, a double kill on the throw, making it a triple in total, going for the fourth with the help of Comrade. They do get the fourth with the help of some teamwork, already down to 54 points. This is a great delayed wipeout, and they need it if they want to get back in here, though unfortunately Usagi Fan Club is building up special meter right now. They have a Bubble and a Zuko ready to go, as well as a Booyah Bomb, but unfortunately the Zinni goes down, make it 2 down. That's both down. Immediately answers back with a double kill of their own from the Zuka right here, but they unfortunately go down too, and Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew is able to take lead right down, counting it down, 10 points left, but they flip zone right here.
Yes, 69 penalty points, nice being applied to Usagi Fan Club here, but if there's anything Usagi Fan Club has in spades, it is paint. They have the Zimmy, they have the pencil, they even have the tent, which can provide a good trail, and whoa, Ori was able to get rid of Leaf with an aerial crab. You don't see that every day, but now there's 2 members down, Comrade and Lincoln Virus, and once again, this Zimmy, I take a shot every time I say it is able to hold the ground and hold the line, and now Usagi Fan Club are almost out of their penalty points here. The bubble is finally over, and now I think Let's Get These Squad Wins from the Crew is trying to start tripling forward. Lincoln Virus is heralding the push. Comrade is also on the scene. Lincoln Virus will pop the stamp here, trying to at least get something going here, but the lead will be taken by Usagi Fan Club, and there's 2 members down on Let's Get These Squad Wins, but now it's a paint off for the zone here between Ori as well as CJ. Comrade is also on the scene, as well as Sneebo, and there is the flip. 54 penalty points going to Usagi Fan Club. This is a 1-point differential once again, Jack.
We keep seeing that a lot tonight. The Zuka able to take one down right there despite the cover from the 10 umbrella. It once again flips to Usagi Fan Club right now, though with that penalty, that's not really much gain. It's just sort of a reset right there, though. It's not to the funny number, which makes it sad. 2 down on the side of the Let's Get These Squad Wins for the W. How do you manage to say that each time? I didn't even get to note about the crab cha-cha slide. It's just been too much going on right now. Me to her just holding down this left spire. A bubble coming out right now from the Zinni, though it is going to be no, the hammer gets shredded right there. 2 go down on the side of Usagi Fan Club, make it 3. It's just a pencil, and they need to fall back right there. That will Let's Get These Squad Wins for the W take control right here. There's 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock. Ori's got Crab waiting for a good instance to use it, just hoping to keep as much control as possible. This is a very doable comeback right now, but with how Usagi Fan Club is so good at coordinating their specials, it might not be enough right now. They do manage to pick down 1 on each side. Ori's Crab not getting as much use as they may want. The bubble out here paired with a Booyah Bomb that might be able to flip zone, but they use it on Lincoln. Not able to take Lincoln down though. The zone is neutralized for a moment, but this stamp might be enough. That's 1 down already. Lincoln trying to charge in right towards the pencil. Unfortunately gets taken down, but that allows for Let's Get These Squad Wins for the W just to hold on to zone. 30 seconds left on the clock, but it flips once again to Usagi Fan Club.
So, with under 20 seconds left on the clock, I think that was a lot of their resources spent for Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew, and now Usagi Fan Club now just needs to stay in control just for a little while longer. Ori popping out the crab once more here. This needs to work in overtime here, and Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew have so much penalty points to break through, practically an entire game's worth of penalty. And now, already with Comrade going down here, this could already be a little bit tricky, and with the Zibby establishing a bubble, oh, actually no, it is being intercepted by Lincoln Virus as well.
Wonderful flank right there from Ori.
And now we're seeing, I think we're seeing Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew. They're finally trying to get things going. Comrade has the Zuka ready to go. The Booyah Bomb is being charged by Leaf. They need to get the paint on zone fast here. It is probably there, but the Zimmy is there. Leaf is there, and that's a wipeout for Usagi Fan Club. And finally, in a very drawn-out overtime, Usagi Fan Club will take the lead 95 to 90.
My throat hurts. Oh, God. Hydrate, everybody. I don't care if it's poisonous and kills us Inklings and Octolings. Drink water. It's good for you. The fist bump right there to seal the deal. And speaking of deals, we're heading to the market of Hagglefish. For this is a tower control Hagglefish market map. And I adore this map mode. It's probably one of my favorite map modes in the game. It's definitely top 5. I'm expecting, I don't know how the teams will be able to adapt. I've seen many in the competitive circuit claim this as the final destination of Splatoon. I don't know if that was you who first said that to me or if that was when I was on for a different tournament, but I can definitely see it as this is just a very even playing field. It's truly a place to see where the skill of each team leads. With Usagi Fanclub barely taking the lead in game 1 right there, I'm wondering how Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew is able to adapt, as because I mean it was the unstoppable force meets the unstoppable force right there. I wonder how their offense will be met on a map that isn't as lockdown focused.
Yeah, I think what Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew was running with was just so much aggression on their end here. And I think when it comes down to Hagglefish Market, the map of many names, I think, well, there's just a lot of playing field for the aggressive weapons of Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew, but also just a lot of space to shut down for the stalwart comp of Usagi Fanclub here. Still no switch-ups. Actually, no, we're seeing Leaf go from S-Blast to Custom Blaster. Once again, we're seeing Splashdown at the function. Potentially good in case you get in a close-range engagement with, say, Lincoln Virus, or with maybe even Ori, or more so Comrade. Already the Bubble and the Crab have been popped. The Soda also is coming out from Usagi Fanclub here. They're trying to trickle through. They are able to get rid of Comrade here. We're seeing Lincoln Virus have the stamp ready to go. The Usagi Fanclub have their butts set on tower and have the intent to push. As they get rid of Ori, they get rid of Sneevo here. We're seeing Lincoln Virus trying to get a hammer throw, getting rid of 2, getting the intercept, and Comrade not able to get rid of Leaf so far. And I think with that splashdown, they're able to get to the first checkpoint.
They were just able to stay alive long enough to allow Leaf to jump back onto tower right there. Lincoln Virus trying to establish it mid, and then oh, that's the entire enemy team. Gotta back off a little bit right here. Trying to find a good opening for this stamp right now. This is some beautiful stamp movement right here, not committing it into anything that'll get them killed, but trying to do their best to move the team. The stamp goes a little wide right there, and Leaf is able to get that double kill, which will allow Usagi Fanclub to once again make that a triple and a wipeout for the team. That'll allow them to probably get past first checkpoint right here, maybe even make it to second. Since the only long-range member of the team is that headed, this will certainly be hard to contest that tower with how aggressive Usagi Fanclub is being. They're 1 down on each side right here. They do get through first checkpoint. Leaf able to get 1 kill, but unfortunately goes down right here. Bubble being popped to try to maintain this push. They make it to the second checkpoint by right now. Will they be able to hold it, as there's only 30 points left on the ticker? Lincoln goes down right here. They're just holding in. That's 3 down on the side of Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew right now. Point blank Zuka on the side of Comrade. Gets 2. Makes it to the last checkpoint. 3, 2, 1. Game for Usagi Fanclub.
Did we just see Undertow again? I think we just saw Undertow again.
Yeah, basically, yeah, I think. I don't know if I necessarily saw the same splashdown thing where it's like, oh, I have cooler. But like, you know, it's sort of a similar pacing, a similar momentum that was held. No fist bump, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think what Usagi Fanclub, I think Tower kind of is just their map here. When you have an objective that is focused on, I guess, staying on it, whereas more control, like, compared to other modes like, say, clams or zones in this instance, where it's kind of about like maintaining control over a large space, which could kind of yield to more fighting here. TC is more about just staying on a singular thing, and when it comes down to staying on singular things, Usagi Fanclub has that locked down. They have things like Bubble, they have things like Tent Shield, they have things like Cooler even to potentially block incoming fire from Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew. Even still, we did see a lot more pushback from Let's Get These Squad Wins from the Crew in comparison to what kind of fared against Cat checkpoints here. Always got to give a shout out to a baller hammer throw from Lincoln Virus. So
you gotta respect the Thor worshippers out in the chat with how they be throwing that Mjolnir around. I mean, you were talking about how the fact of if there's one thing that Usagi Checkpoint is good, it is Fanclub is good. It is holding through one's objective. But with 2 zones right here, I wonder how they'll adapt, because these zones are pretty small, but there's 2 of them on either side, and they will have to split their focus. The 10 is only going to be in one place at once, and that will allow them to secure the left side zone right here, and they might be able to take right. They are, as this take their early lead right here. A Cooler already out on the side of Usagi Fanclub. They're able to get another pick right here on Lincoln, and right now this is just already the start to their oppressive thing. I wonder if this is gonna be another undertow.
Will this be another undertow here? But already we're seeing Ori's crab armor taking damage here. Lincoln Virus is able to get rid of the Zimmy here, and they're stamping forward. They're able to get rid of Me to Her as well as Leaf. That is 2, potentially a 3rd with his hammer throw here, but now with the rest of Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew, they are able to close in onto the Zimmy, and there is the flip for Usagi Fanclub, applying 40 penalty points to Usagi. That's the flip for Let's Get These Squad Wins from the Crew, applying 40 penalty points to Usagi Fanclub. And now I think if Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew are able to at least hold their ground here, or at least try to push in further, they could get something going. But now with only, I think, the Crab being immediately shredded by Leaf, and with 2 members down on Let's Get These Squad Wins, the zone has gone right back into neutral and flipped for Usagi Fanclub. 20 penalty points going to Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew, and Sneevo as well as Comrade are being forced to back out as Usagi Fanclub are sitting their butts right back into mid, and now on to Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew's court.
Ori got bounced around like a dang ping pong ball inside of that crab right here by Leaf, who is just trying to hold zone right here. The baits out the hammer right there beautifully and is able to take it down, though that bubble is now shredded, and Leaf does go down. 2 down on the side of Usagi Fanclub, and with this crab they might try to do it, but the crab immediately gets shredded by the Zuka. Once again, another hammer coming out from Lincoln right here, is able to get one, might get another off the thing. Nope, goes down, but that's 3 down on the side of Usagi Fanclub. Ori trying to get the last one, but against that 10 they're not going to be able to do much, and they put themselves in a very bad situation now that the Penta is back. Once again, just playing tiptoe. Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew is once again in control right now, but their last push did not land them enough time, and they're trying to do it right here. Comrade just trying to play back and forth on that box, but not able to do so against Leaf's splash damage. And but unfortunately, it's just right back in there and delivers a quick little bop to the side of Me and Her, but it does allow Usagi Fanclub to get control back in. Comrade already with the double kill. I'm ranting on one singular topic for too long, because Comrade's just here to Comrade is here to punch in. They're here to do work. They're here to do their job of Slayer, and they are doing it well with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock.
Now Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew. They have at least a little bit more resources on their end. The Soda does get deployed by the header here, but now there's 2 members down on Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew. Already the zone's gone into neutral, and already the tent has gone down though here. It's still in neutral. Lincoln Virus is able to survive with Viper survivability. Ori is now tagging in, able to get 2, both Leaf as well as the Mini, and now Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew are charging forward. Lincoln Virus trying to get rid of those members, but I think Ori's at least able to put the crab onto the dome, getting rid of Leaf. Will this be the lead swap? Yes, it will. And Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew, potentially finally finding their groove and are able to stay in courts here. They're cruising past the 20s now into the 10s, potentially out of the 10s and into the single digits here. The hammer does get thrown here. The Zuka does get popped, as now that is a wipeout for Usagi Fanclub. They are not going down without a fight, and they are sitting their butts right back down into mid, with 60 penalty points being applied to Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew.
It was almost like I saw the hope in their eyes, and it has been dashed momentarily, but they need to regroup right here and play smart. This is a very doable comeback for Usagi Fanclub right here. Leaf just sitting atop this left spire, daring somebody to step out of position, baits it out with a splashdown, is able to get Lincoln right here. Already they're through their penalty right now, down to 25 points. Leaf somehow not phasing through the grates right there, just avoiding the pressure from the crab and the head. It does go down right there, but it buys enough time. 2 down on the side of Usagi Fanclub. 8, 7. They neutralize the zone before they take lead right here. That allows them to clean up. One last person is Me and Her on the right side of the zone. They need to, Ori needs to paint. They do manage to secure the zone. 30 seconds left on the clock. This could still be anyone's game right here, Frost.
score right now is 6-7, and now Lincoln Virus is trying to move in. They have the stamp here. They're getting rid of the Zimmy before going down to Leaf. There's a crab ready on Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew, but now Usagi Fan Club need to start mobilizing. Do they have the means to go in? And Leaf is going for a daring flank. They get spotted out by Sneevo here, lest they get dipped down into the abyss. This has to work into potential overtime with the splashdown being deployed by Leaf. Zone is now in neutral. The 10th has gone down, but neutral ain't enough for overtime. You need to get that zone capped, and when one of those zones is capped by Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew, that will be the win for them. This is not a knockout yet. Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew not going down without a little bit of a fight, which means we're going to game 4.
Hey, wins is in their name, plural. They're looking for the 3-0 reverse sweep right here, and they might just do it on Clam Blitz, Barnacle, and Dime. The Prodigal, I prophesized the map list. I prophesized that we would be here when I mentioned the fact that I typically see Clam Blitz on this rotation instead, and that's what we're going to see before, once again, assuming that Usagi Fan Club does not pull ahead here. But, I mean, hey, I want to see the 2-2 finals. That'd be perfect. It would be glorious, glorious battle. And I am with how you mentioned that Usagi Fan Club struggles to hold two things, or we theorized that seemingly. They were doing a very good job of controlling it at the beginning right there, but Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew was able to quickly just regroup, just have a better mindset throughout the game, and they held on. They didn't get discouraged when they got the map flipped in the last minute of the game. They were able to hold on right there, and that secured them the win. And let's see if they might be able to establish a more secure lead going into this game.
Travis Scott is calling. He wants you to get these squad wins for the Crew tonight. So let's see if Barnacle Clams is where this streak can keep going. No switch-ups on Usagi Fan Club, and of course no switch-ups on Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew. Of course, like you said before, if it ain't broke, there is no need to fix it, and already the teams are bursting out through courts, trying to get into mid. I think Usagi Fan Club will be the first to touch mid unless Comrade gets to it first here. I think right now, Let's Get These Squad Wins would definitely benefit from a lot of early paint onto mid, but against a comp that Usagi Fan Club is running, it does not look like that is the case. Comrade is trying to strike in, but it gets blocked by Me to Her's 10 shield, but now we're seeing Lincoln Virus trying to strike with the stamp. It is now only Me to Her and Comrade's trying to take them down, but no, Comrade goes down to the one pump by Me to Her, as now a power climb has been built on both sides, and mid is predominantly controlled by Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew. It is still anyone's game. It really just depends on whether or not they can find openings.
Yeah, you never really want to charge a 10 by yourself. That it might be a recipe for disaster if you aren't able to get around it. With Carbon being such a head-forward weapon, they were unfortunately shut down right here. Ori being forced back as Usagi Fan Club is able to re-control mid, but their strikes get just shot out by the Zuka right here. Splashdown is able to secure a kill thanks to Leaf right here, though they unfortunately go down as well. Once again, it seems like the offense of Usagi Fan Club is just pushed out right here, though once again, it may be a little too zealous. Lincoln trying to get in there, but unfortunately goes down to the respawning team. Gotta love cooler respawn and super jump speed with how quickly they are back in mid and once again seemingly have control.
It's once again a battle of mid. Comrade outpainted and outgunned in this present moment. Lincoln Virus also going down, but Ori is at least able to get rid of Leaf, trying to burst this bubble before going down to a headshot, as well as Sneevo also going down to that Zuka. And now finally, without maybe a little bit more nuisance, Comrade being forced to jump out, Usagi Fan Club has the opening they need. They have the clams necessary. At least now they do, in the back pocket of CJ here. Ori, though, striking in before they get shut down by, I think, by Leaf. But now I think CJ's backing up into mid. The opening is still there, but Lincoln Virus moving in with the stamp. That does actually get cancelled. Now 2 members down. I think this is finally the time for Usagi Fan Club to strike. One power clam does go in. Leaf is just one power clam away from another power, but now I think they're just trying to pick up the pieces, trying to score what they have. They push the lead to 74. The Mini's able to get rid of Lincoln Virus, as well as Comrade able to put in so much utility and so much work before finally going down to Ori as the basket closes and the lead is set at 71.
Yeah, but once again, they still have control of mid, and they once again have control of Eco right now. Already another power clam on the side of Usagi Fan Club. 2.5 minutes left on the clock. This is still very doable for Let's Get These Squad Wins for the W. Ori is able to get a pick right there beautifully with the Crab Tank as they try to reestablish control of mid. Shred through that tent on the left side right now. Both teams just vying, one down. Lincoln looking for a great flanking round. Gets one, gets the second. This is the perfect opportunity they need. Tries for the hammer throw, but that barrier is not going to allow it. Forces the pencil to jump back and builds enough for the power clam to break it. And the second power clam goes in, immediately taking it to 48, allowing them to have lead right here. 2 down on the side of Usagi Fan Club. They get it down to 42 points before it looks like Sneebo is forced to retreat right here. That is a beautiful lead right now for Let's Get These Squad Wins for the W. 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the clock. They unfortunately go down to Leaf right there. 2 down on the side of Let's Get These Squad Wins for the W, as it looks like Usagi Fan Club is trying to reestablish control of mid and already have the power clam needed to retake lead.
They have it in the back pocket of CJ once more. I think that Mini also almost has enough for a second. They could respond. They could respond with a second power clam of their own. They have 22 clams? Apparently? I didn't even know that was possible. So now they just need to find their way in. The Zook is being fired off from me to her. Comrade going down. Lincoln Virus does have a stamp ready to go. It is mowing down 2 members of Usagi Fan Club, and those 2 power clams will start fading fast here as the rest of Usagi Fan Club is at least able to jump back in. They are still poised in a very solid position up on Squad Wins' plats. They still have 1 power clam in the back pocket of CJ. I think we're seeing a second power clam being built by the Mini. They get shut down by Lincoln Virus with another stamp, and a second stamp has hit Usagi Fan Club. And finally, we are seeing them in control of mid with under 30 seconds left on the clock. Lincoln Virus hitting having.
I don't think I've ever seen this many freaking hammers from a singular stamper in my life. Right here. Ori unfortunately gets their crab shredded, and the third Zuka shot seals the deal right here. Beautiful wipeout on the side of Let's Get These Squad Wins for the W, but it looks like Usagi Fan Club might be able to build enough eco, though there is only 15 seconds left in the clock. They force the jump out right here. They do have the power clam though, so this game will be going into overtime, but they have a lot of ground to make up right now. Let's Get These Squad Wins for the crew just has to play this smart. They can't afford to lose any members right now. 2 down on the side of Usagi Fan Club. They come back in quick thanks to that thing. Their pencil goes down. Ori unfortunately goes down, as well as Comrade. They're trying to push up right here. Beautiful stamp from Lincoln Park right here. The throw does not get anyone, but they're able to direct with the pencil before going down, and it looks like that will seal the deal as that power clam is going to burst, sealing the win. We are going to game 5, Frost.
What a defense and offense from Let's Get These Squad Wins for the crew. I think they really did get that call from Travis Scott, and they said, like, okay guys, Travis called. The Splatoon game is very serious. So now
we need those backstage passes, man. We gotta get the wins for the crew so we can go to the Travis Scott concert.
So this is game 5. This is for all the marbles and for the title of SOS. For SOS 204 winners, it will be on the well-adored Splat Zones Mahi Mahi. And once again, we've seen Usagi Fan Club dominate zones across, I think, all the games that we've seen them in, whether that be Robo Ramen, Mako Mart, Ship Shape here. It could even be Mahi Mahi.
It very much could, and as much as Let's Get These Squad Wins for the crew wants to go to that Travis Scott concert, I don't think Usagi Fan Club wants to end up as second twice in a row. They've lost momentum here, but they need to put a stop to it. They need to assess how Let's Get These Squad Wins has been able to get around their offensive might and adjust. We might see maybe more than just Leaf switch off a blaster here, but I'm expecting to see that Zenny put in work with that bubble, as we saw in the last set. It seemingly, once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But let's see which comp breaks first as we head into game 5 of finals SOS 204 here, folks. I want to hear some noise in the chat.
Alright, so let's break into this already. We're seeing Ori trying to take something on Lincoln Virus as well as Comrade, being a little bit more patient here. That's definitely smart when Usagi Fan Club's weapons can be that explosive. And already they're backing up into their own spawn. They are able to get the sodas from the headed. Lincoln Virus will pop the stamp, getting rid of Leaf, as well as Meet Her. The hammer throw will not claim any targets here, but the mobility of the Wiper able to at least stay alive here, and a direct onto Leaf will allow Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew to stay in there. And now Comrade landing the shot onto CJ here. They're giving Usagi Fan Club a taste of their own medicine, and they are holding this very strongly.
Right now, Ori marked right here in mid as Let's Get These Squad Wins takes it down to about 60 points. Hardly a minute has passed, but already the water level is dropping. Fan Club trying to come in with this bubble. Unfortunately, their backline is down. Ori goes down on the side of Let's Get These Squad Wins. It does flip to the side of Usagi Fan Club. Me to her, hunting down this Sharker in their base. Does take down Lincoln Virus. The cooler will be wearing off soon, so use this Zuka now before you lose it forever. Try to get in and run in to get the direct shot, but unfortunately their target was up top. Me to her just trying to hold on to zone right here. They might even take lead as we head into about 3.5 minutes on the clock. They might swap lead. Yes, they do.
Hey, the lead has now been swapped, and Leaf and the Zimmy are firing off in the bubble, but the bubble does get shredded here. Leaf does go down, and the offensive front of Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew are moving in. Lincoln Virus popping the stamp that gets canceled by the tent, but at least Comrade is able to pick up the pieces, able to get rid of the Zimmy here. The lead is very close. Comrade's trying to get rid of CJ. They are able to get the pick onto that and edging off the Zimmy as well. They are almost out of their penalty points now. That being said, Usagi Fan Club has two specials, the Splashdown as well as the Zuka. Meanwhile, on Let's Get These Squad Wins, Lincoln has the hammer in their back pocket, ready to rip at moment's notice. The lead has been swapped. Here comes the hammer, getting rid of the tent here. The throw, not able to claim any targets so far. Lincoln Virus has gone down, but the damage is still being dealt here. And now the crab, the bubble have been popped here. The bubble's been shredded, the crab's been shredded, the Zimmy's been shredded here, and Leaf is moving in. The zone is now into neutral. It is still in control of Let's Get These Squad Wins.
Lincoln Virus with the double kill right here, going for the
double, the triple on Lincoln Virus, and I think this is it, Jack. The knockout, the reverse.
The knockout from Let's Get These Squad Wins for the W. Lincoln unfortunately wasn't able to hammer in at the mid there, learned their lesson and took it around, getting the triple kill that secures Let's Get These Squad Wins for the W. The game, beautiful set right there. Give it up for your winners of SOS 204. Let's Get These Squad Wins for the crew.
Yep, Travis Scott wants you to get these squad wins for the crew tonight, and then Travis Scott says, let's get these squad wins for the crew tonight. And that's exactly what happens. You'll love to see a reverse sweep in action here, and not just, yeah, you just love to see the reverse sweep be real and be happening. Oh, what a game, Jack. And we see Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew finally take it after a little bit of after just a lot of just pushing from Usagi Fan Club. So that's it. That's SOS 204 here, and our podium so far. Let's Get These Squad Wins for the Crew in first, Usagi Fan Club in second, and in third, it's Cat Checkpoint. So congrats to everyone that made Top Bracket, and of course, congrats and thank you to everyone who showed up to this Wednesday's SOS here. If you are, if you do have similar interest to me, you know we have bigger fish to fry tonight, as something is we have a midnight release to get going. But before
we have about approximately an hour and 13 minutes before I will never see Frost again.
Yeah, I'm being dragged to the realm known as Lumio City. So we have a little bit of before we do that, we have a little bit of, I guess, housekeeping to get done here. So before we fade into the ethereal abyss, or in my case Lumio City, Jack, where can the good people of Twitch chat find you on social media?
They can find me at jolteonjack.bluesky.social, as well as jolteonjack22 on Twitter. Trying to get more stuff started there, but with how fast things have gone tonight, my posts are not able to keep up. I'm a professional voice actor trying to get out there, and so who knows, I might be posting some stuff of my work there soon. What about you, my good friend Frost? Where can the good people find you?
Of course,
before you fade into nothingness.
Yeah, of course. You can find me on Twitter at TK_Frostix. You can find me on Blue Sky at frostix.bluesky.social. I cast for a wide variety of orgs, whether that be IPL, Dapple, or Under Pressure here. You can maybe find me on, say something like Prison Break. And of course, if you want to support some of my own personal work, you can read my web novel Gap Year on Wattpad. Anyways, I'm digressing. I'm pretty sure our voices are genuinely tired. Get some water, get some rest. Have a good Wednesday, and have a good Legends ZA Eve and release date. Good night, and congratulations. Let's get these squad wins for the crew tonight, or LGTSWFTC.
Stay fresh, y'all.